Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Ino breaks Naruto's heart. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. Two blonde shinobi stood staring at each other. They were both slightly out of breath from their intense kiss. Ino closed her eyes. She could feel her heart pounding through her chest. She hadn't expected Naruto to kiss her like that. Hell, she hadn't even expected that she would kiss him back. Naruto, this is so fucked up. You're telling me. He agreed. Ino sat down on his bed. She placed her hands into her lap as she avoided his gaze. When the hell did it get like this? Since when did this get real? Naruto, this wasn't supposed to happen. Naruto sat next to her. He wondered just what he could say to her right now. He reached for her hand. Ino, did you want to kiss me? Did you really feel what I felt? Naruto was feeling so many different emotions. He found that he really enjoyed that kiss with the beautiful Kunoichi. He felt the urge to grab her and kiss her again. Naruto wanted to make this faux relationship real. Yeah, that was exactly what he wanted. Ino turned her attention elsewhere. What could she possibly say to him right now? Should she admit these growing feelings to him? Could she actually breathe light into the current situation? Naruto, I did want that kiss. She admitted. It felt. I can't even begin to describe to you how it felt. I've never actually felt anything like that before. Yeah, he understood. The two of them had decided that in no way, shape or form would they get involved for real. This whole thing was supposed to be for public appearance. Ino didn't know exactly when she started to actually feel real feelings for Naruto. But right now she knew that she felt them. She felt them and they were not going away. In honesty, it was starting to scare her. Ino, he whispered her name. Yeah, Naruto? What are we going to do now? The platinum blonde shook her head. It wasn't like she had any answers for him right now. She couldn't answer him when she didn't have any herself. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Flashback several months ago. The 17-year-old blonde-haired Kyuubi vessel was busy getting in some extra training. Right now he needed to clear his head. It was either this or go pig out on some ramen. Yeah, ramen is next, he thought with a smile. After his training he sat putting his supplies away. He had a lot on his mind right now. Most of his thoughts were focused on his pink-haired friend. He harbored these deep feelings for her for a very long time. The more he thought about it though, he could see that he was getting nowhere. Maybe Sakura-chan and I will be nothing more than friends. Could he really just give up though? He had never given up on a single thing in his life before. Why should now be any different? This was only just another challenge to overcome, right? Hey Naruto? He heard his name. He looked up to see a flash of pink running towards him. Hey Sakura-chan. He waved. Hi. I was hoping to catch you before I left. Are you going somewhere? Yeah, I have a last-minute mission. I should be back in a week or so. Naruto nodded and uneasy silence passed through. Well, I'll see you later, okay Naruto? Sakura-chan, wait. She turned back to look at him with a curious expression on her face. Yeah, what's wrong? It was now or never should he go for it. Never mind, be careful on your mission. Right, she smiled. I will be careful, see you soon. He smiled for her watching as she walked away. He didn't know why, but he just couldn't bring himself to say anything to her. Maybe I really should give up. Naruto felt his stomach grumble. Guess it's time for that ramen now. He made his way to Ichiraku's. The blonde was so wrapped up in his thoughts he wasn't paying much attention to where he was going. He soon collided with a second blonde. What the hell? A loud voice was heard. Naruto looked to see the one and only Ino Yamanaka. Gomen Ino, I didn't see you there. Let me help you up. He offered her his hand so he could help her. The blonde on the ground just took his hand. Yeah, just be careful next time. What, were you in a daze or something? He didn't respond to her at first. She noticed the far-off look in those cerulean blue eyes. Oh boy, she sighed. I know that look. This wouldn't happen to have anything to do with forehead, would it? Naruto looked up, meeting Ino's knowing gaze. Guess it was really that obvious after all. He started. You don't have to say anything, Naruto. But geez, it's not natural seeing you so depressed. Hey, I know, let's go to Ichiraku's, that always seems to cheer you up. Ino led the way to the ramen stand. When she noticed that Naruto wasn't coming, she turned to face him. Are you coming or what? I mean, this is ramen we're talking about. You never refuse eating that. Naruto just put on a smile for the blonde Kunoichi. Yeah, you're right Ino-chan, let's get going, okay. Ino wasn't completely sure why she had even offered. If Naruto was depressed over Sakura, it really wasn't any of her business. She figured that it was simply because she didn't like seeing anyone down. Once at Ichiraku's she noticed how he sat there. He mindlessly held his chopsticks in his hand. He wasn't even attempting to devour the noodles. She knew for sure that this was indeed serious. That's it. I can't take this. Naruto, you need to seriously get out of this depressed mood you're in. Moping around doesn't really suit you. You don't understand, Ino. I have a lot on my mind. Oh, I get it, alright. You're depressed over Sakura because you have this never-ending crush on her. Naruto, I respect your loyalty and all, but don't you think it's about time you let it go already? She really hadn't meant to sound so harsh at the time. She only wanted to be honest with him. The blonde male stared at her. Maybe you're right. Now Naruto, I know you don't listen to reason. And don't you dare argue with me. She stopped. Huh, what did you say? She turned her attention towards him. I said that maybe you're right. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting that. She thought. Damn right I'm right. You know what, I'm feeling really generous right now. I'm going to help you. Naruto swallowed the lump in his throat. Ino and help in the same sentence. He wasn't sure if he felt good about any of this. Help me? Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you agree with me that you need to move on. But if you truly want forehead, I'll help you. We'll spend some time together. We'll pretend to be a couple just to get under her skin. You know it will piss her off for sure. Ino-chan, want that be like me using you? The platinum blonde's eyebrow twitched. She then rolled her eyes. I don't think of it that way. Besides, it might be kind of fun to see the look on her face if she thinks that we're together. And on top of it all, if she really wants you, she'll come get you. Naruto took a minute to process everything that Ino had said. He didn't feel completely comfortable with this plan. She was right, though he didn't have anything to lose. Maybe spending some time with Ino would help him get over Sakura. One thing though before we agree to this relationship. What's that? You and I keep this strictly professional. I mean, you cannot fall in love with me under any circumstances. The same goes for me. Naruto took a moment to finally eat some of his ramen. This was going to be a lot to think about. Could they really go through with this? Plans like these were bound to have some type of consequences. Alright, no problem there. His voice now held its usual confident tone. Ino frowned at this. Was he suggesting that she wasn't worthy of his affections? Ino Yamanaka was more than enough woman for him. She was definitely sure of that. Oh, is that so? You saying I'm not good enough for you? Oh no, Ino-chan, that's not it at all. I do think that you're pretty. He told her honestly. There was silence for a moment. He was mainly afraid that he would say something to upset her. Well, I have to go. I'll see you around. Uzumaki. She called out to him. If we're going to do this, we are going to do this right. We have to make this whole thing completely believable. Right. He nodded. Don't sweat it, Ino, we can pull this off, no problem. It's not like we like each other that way. Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. On the plus side, if this works, you'll get forehead in the end. And if it doesn't work, well, at least you can say that you spent time with a beautiful girl like me. She smiled proudly. As expected of Ino-chan. He thought, sure thing, Ino, whatever you say. Later. Bye. She nodded. Oh yeah, this should definitely be fun. Ino waited patiently for Naruto to meet her in front of the Yamanaka flower shop. 20 minutes had passed and he still hadn't shown up. She was doing her best to keep her cool. Where the hell is he? I told him to meet me at 4 o'clock. She had to suppress the urge to hit him a few good times for making her wait. Ino, I'm sorry I'm late. He quickly apologized as he ran up to meet her. Naruto, number 1 rule, you never keep a girl waiting. Geez, I said that I was sorry. Whatever. She sighed. Come on, let's go. She led the way with him following behind her. He had no idea where they were going. He figured that this was all Ino's idea, he would let her handle all the details. Where are we going, Ino? Just somewhere I like to go to think. We do have to strategize, of course. Strategize? She was treating this like it was a war or something. Ino, this isn't war or a mission. I mean, it's not like it's life or death. She glared at him as if he had somehow said the absolute worst thing in the world. Well, love is like war. It's just as serious. You've got to take this seriously, Naruto, even if it's only for show. I mean, we know that none of this is for real. But everyone else doesn't know that. Wow, Ino sure is committed to things. He thought to himself. Ino stopped walking when they approached a field of flowers. Naruto couldn't say that he was surprised. It was full of flowers. This was probably like heaven to her. The blue-eyed Kunoichi sat down, motioning for him to sit with her. He sat down leaning up against the tree. He had to admit this place was pretty relaxing. Everything from the flowers to the nearby lake. He imagined that at night this place would be absolutely stunning. Damn Ino, this place is relaxing. I can totally fall asleep right here. He put his hands behind his head as he prepared to close his eyes. Look here, Shikamaru version 2.0. You don't have time to sleep right now. We've got planning to do. Ino, what's the big deal? All we have to do is go around pretending that we're a couple. What's so hard about that? He asked her. It took everything Ino had to keep herself from hitting him upside the head. She was beginning to see why Sakura had done it so frequently. Although the pink-haired girl had taken it too far sometimes, Ino didn't want to knock him into oblivion. She just wanted to hit him a few good times to get those remaining brain cells up and running. Naruto, let's think about this for a minute. Have you and I ever shown any interest in one another at all over the years? No. He shook his head. Good boy. Now I know it hurts your head, but try to follow me, okay? If we've never shown any interest in each other before, what makes you think that anyone is going to believe us if we don't do this right? Naruto knew that of course Ino was right. They couldn't just fall in love overnight. Everyone would be able to see right through that. This was going to be a challenge. He was beginning to see that. He and Ino had to make this as convincing as possible. Yeah, you're probably right. Of course I'm right. Rule number 2, Naruto, the girl is always right no matter what. Well, what if she isn't? Trust me, if you want to survive and keep a girl happy, she's always right. Naruto sighed, throwing his arms over his head. How many rules are there? It's like you wrote a rule book or something. Having a pretend girlfriend is hard work. Oh yeah, well, wait until you get a real girlfriend. I'm sure that forehead isn't going to make it easy for you. Naruto suddenly became quiet. Ino noticed his silence. She raised an eyebrow to him. Now what's wrong? She questioned. It's just, what if this whole thing doesn't work out? What if we're really just wasting our time? Maybe we should forget the whole thing. You getting soft on me, Uzumaki. Since when did you start giving up on things? The blonde male sighed to himself. Ino, why do you want to help me? We aren't exactly best friends, you know. I told you this could prove to be interesting. Also, I know that you really like her. You've had a crush on her for what now, an eternity? She teased. That's not funny. I am trying to get over it. Yeah, I don't really know if I believe you completely on that. But if you are serious about getting over her, if you really think about it, aren't you using me too? She had a point, they both knew that. Hey, I thought that you said you weren't going to think of it like that. Yeah, I remember what I said. You and I are both getting something out of this. So why don't we just call it an adventure? We can at least have some fun, can't we? Ino-chan needs a hobby. She needs to get the hell out of that flower shop more. I think that it's making her kind of crazy. He thought. Sure, Ino-chan. He nodded. Great. So now that that's out of the way, we do have to think of something. We have to make it believable without overdoing it. Ino-chan, why don't I ask you out in front of everyone? That's a start. She thought about his suggestion. That's true, that would be a start. It would be even more believable if I turned you down and you pursued me a little. Ino was starting to feel enthusiastic about the whole pursuit aspect of things. She did like the attention. This whole plan would definitely bring attention to the both of them. Yeah, I guess that would be the best thing. I'm used to being rejected. Naruto spoke. Although Ino hadn't told him this to his face, she did find him attractive. After he first came back from his training trip, he was definitely something to look at. Time had surely been good to Naruto. Don't be so down on yourself. You know you've only been after one girl all this time. Who's to say that someone else wouldn't have said yes to you? You should have kept your options open. Ino reminded him. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Hey, he smiled. I've got an idea. She noticed the bright glint in his eyes. He had a plan of some sort. He was thinking crazy right now, she was sure of it. Naruto, you aren't going to do anything crazy, are you? No time to explain, Ino, I have to go. Just remember to be your usual bossy self and I'll see you tomorrow like planned. Bossy, she repeated. Yeah, you know the Ino charm that only you posses. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, she could say no more as he was already gone. I'll just have to wait and see whatever he has planned. He'd better not do anything crazy or Kami help him. To say that Ino was concerned about whatever Naruto had planned was putting it lightly. She knew all too well how eager and unpredictable the blonde male was. I have a really bad feeling about this. She thought to herself. Hey Ino, where are you right now? You look like you're a million miles away. Sakura spoke. Yeah, she's right, Ino, what's going on? Ten asked. The blonde kunoichi took a sip of her tea. She wasn't really sure how she should answer her. Ino-chan, is everything okay? Hinata wondered. The four girls had met up today to have some tea and spend their day together. She knew that today was better than any to put her plan with Naruto into action. There were witnesses around so they could all see this so-called relationship come to a start. Guys, I'm fine really. I just have some stuff on my mind, that's all. Oh. Ten nodded knowingly. Boy trouble, huh? She nudged the younger girl in the shoulder. Come on Ten, you know that Ino Pig is single. What boy trouble could she possibly have? The pink-haired teen teased gently. Ino glared daggers at her friend. So are you, forehead? The only people here who would have boy problems are Ten and Hinata. How are things with Lee and Kiba anyway? Lee and I are fine, the brunette said confidently. Why, yeah, Kiba-kun and I are doing good, Hinata answered. Hear that, Sakura, you better get a move on if you want to catch up to these two. Sakura narrowed her eyes as she sipped her tea. Oh yeah, well, what about you? I don't exactly see your social calendar full. Ino stood up, placing some money on the table. I don't need a man to define me, she said proudly as she walked out of the tea house. Spoken like a true desperate single girl. Hey Ino Pig, wait up. The three girls followed after their friend. All Ino could really think about was what Naruto had said the day before. It was the only thing on her mind. Just what the hell is he planning? She wondered. Ino, hey, wait up. She waited for her friends to catch up to her. So what do you guys want to do now? Before anyone could say anything else, Konohamaru's voice was heard. Ino Ne-chan, he shouted. The platinum blonde turned around to see the young boy running towards her. He was carrying a bouquet of orchids in his hand. Konohamaru-chan, what's going on? Hiya Ino-chan, I have something for you. He smiled his toothy grin as he handed her the beautiful bouquet. She blinked as she took the flowers from him. Thank you Konohamaru, who are they from? There's no card. Sakura noticed. I'm sorry Ino Ne-chan, I was only told to give them to you. I got to run though, see ya. The three teens waited until the brown-haired boy was gone before turning their attention to Ino. They were definitely curious as to why she had those flowers. What's up? Ino asked. Looks like Ino Pig has an admirer. Sakura spoke in an amused tone. What? I do not. Konohamaru was probably just playing a trick or something. She decided that this was most likely the answer. Ino said no more to her friends as she started to walk away. They are pretty flowers, Ino-chan. The blue-haired girl told her. Yeah, I wonder who they're from. As the girls continued walking, they continued to share their theories on whom it could be. Ino's eye twitched, she couldn't take this another minute longer. Well, it definitely wasn't my Lee, he wouldn't dare disrespect me like that. Ten said. Hey, maybe it was Shino? The pink-haired teen suggested because she knew it would piss Ino off. Bug boy, she shouted. Get real you three. I'm telling you that it was probably a joke. She turned around facing her friends with a displeased look on her face. Okay Ino, geez, relax. Ino-chan, a very loud voice was heard. What the? Ino, Ten, Sakura, and Hinata looked to see Naruto jumping from the roof of a building. He landed in front of the more than surprised blonde Kunoichi. Naruto? She questioned in disbelief. Sakura suddenly punched the blonde male in the head. He instantly fell to the ground. Ow Sakura-chan? He whined. What the hell were you thinking jumping from the roof like that, baka? Were you trying to freak us out? Not to mention you probably could have hurt yourself. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Hinata asked. He shook his head, trying to regain himself after that nasty blow to the head. Hi, I'm fine. He nodded, giving her the thumbs up. He then turned his attention to Ino. He smiled for her. Ino-chan, did you like the flowers I sent for you? You sent them? Ten and Sakura said together. Yeah Ino-chan. He dropped to his knee, taking her hand. Ino stood with her mouth open. She could form no words. She was in complete shock mode right now. How the hell could he pull something like this? And she had no time to even prepare for his little stunt. Ino-chan, you are so beautiful. Will you let me take you out? Ten, Sakura, and Hinata each stood in shock, awe, and bewilderment. This wasn't seriously happening right now. None of this seemed to make any kind of sense. Ino pulled herself together, letting the shock disappear from her face. Naruto? She began. Come on Ino-chan, you'll have a great time. It's not like you're busy anyway, you've got plenty of free time. She looked horrified at his insult. Ino pulled him up, dragging him away. We have to talk now in private, Yubaka. She growled. Ino-chan, not so rough, we haven't even had out first date yet. The platinum blonde hit him over the head and he saw nothing but stars. "I'll be right back," she told her friends as she continued dragging Naruto along. Once she was sure that they weren't within earshot of anyone else, she let him go. "Naruto, what in all hell were you thinking? What happened to being convincing? Don't you think that you went a little overboard? No way, wasn't it great, Ino? When have I ever been quiet about anything I've done? You got a point there," she agreed as she sat down beside him. "Seriously though, how are we supposed to recover from this brilliant idea of yours? I'm glad that you thought it was brilliant too." He smiled confidently. "I was being sarcastic, Naruto." "Oh," he whispered as he scratched his hair. "I knew that." Ino put her hand to her chin as she thought to herself. Naruto simply closed his eyes. He didn't feel like sitting around waiting for her to come up with some sort of plan. "Ino, just follow my lead, alright? Come up with anything you want to say." He started walking from behind the wall. He could see the other three kunoichi still standing in view. Naruto knew that he had to make this convincing. "Come on, Ino-chan, how can you just say no to me like that?" Ino thought for a moment before she spoke. "Well, you haven't really given me any good reason as to why I should say yes." She fired back with her hands on her hips. "Didn't I promise you all the ramen that you could eat? What more can you possibly want?" Ino only looked disgusted for a moment. "Ramen is not the way to a girl's heart, you moron." She sighed. "I'm out of here, but thanks for the flowers." "Okay, Ino-chan, but I'm not going to give up," he shouted after her, giving her 2 thumbs up. "Whatever you say." She continued on walking until she was standing with her friends again. "Ino, what the hell was all that about?" Sakura asked first. "I don't know." She shrugged her shoulders. "Don't ask me why he was acting so weird. I have no idea what the hell goes on in that crazy brain of his." "No." The pink-haired female shook her head. "I mean, what was that back there? Did we really just see Naruto of all people ask you out? It doesn't really make any sense." Ino paused. She knew that this would probably happen. She was trying to make Naruto understand that they needed to plan this out carefully. Ino knew that she had to salvage this mess somehow. "Yeah, I mean, I thought that he liked Sakura still." Ten said. "Well, maybe he decided to try his luck with other girls. It doesn't seem that Forehead was willing to give him the time of day. So you can't really blame him for setting his sights on someone as beautiful as me." She spoke in a confident tone. Sakura put her hand up to her chin as she seemed to be in deep thought. "No." She shook her head. "No, that doesn't sound right." Ino's eyes turned white as she fell to the ground. How dare Sakura make a rude comment like that? "Oh, Ino-chan, are you okay?" Hinata questioned as she helped the blonde up. "Hi, I'm fine." "What was that, Forehead? Are you saying that I'm not good enough for Naruto? Well, if he's really all that great, maybe I'll just give him a chance." She looked at the expression on the other 3 teens' faces. It was hard to tell what each of them were thinking. But at the same time she felt that she had control of the situation again. "There, I think that takes care of that," she thought. "I have to go. I'll see you guys around." "Right later, Ino." They all waved. The blonde teen breathed a sigh of relief. She felt better that she had managed to at least fix a bit of the damage that Naruto had caused. Damn him for causing such a scene. Although she hated to say it, she had to admit that it was very sweet of him to give her flowers. And she could definitely say no boy had ever jumped off a roof for her. She couldn't help but to feel just a little flattered, even if it had all been for show. "I knew that this wasn't going to be boring, but I wasn't expecting him to give me flowers, or for him to come falling down a roof. I need to talk to him," she decided. That night the blonde girl found herself outside of Naruto's window. She had to do some asking around to find out where he lived though, other than that it wasn't that much of a challenge. She peeked inside to see him fast asleep. She tapped on the window, he remained asleep. "Damn, he looks like he sleeps like a rock." She tapped on his window hoping that he would hear her. Naruto only shifted in his sleep, not bothering to wake up. "Naruto, you idiot, wake up." Ino tapped harder this time. Naruto turned around, opening his eyes. He turned his attention to the window. "What the?" He blinked, running the sleep out of his eyes. He was trying to make sure that he was really seeing Ino out there. He got up and opened the window. "Ino?" He yawned. "What the hell are you doing out here?" Ino came into his apartment, leaning herself up against the window sill. "I came to talk to you." She stopped when she saw the black nightcap that he was wearing. "What the fuck is that on top of your head?" she pointed. "It's what I always sleep in. And here I thought that your fashion sense couldn't get any worse. You've managed to outdo yourself this time for real." Naruto found that he was too tired to reply back to her at that moment. Another yawn escaped him. Maybe I'm dreaming. Okay, dream version of Ino, I'm going to sleep now. You can see yourself out. She sighed heavily before hitting him in the back of his head. Damn, that felt real. He groaned in pain. Are you up now, you moron? Do you finally realize that this isn't a dream? She shouted. Naruto nodded as he sat down again. He could see that there would be no sleeping for him, not as long as Ino was standing there. He thought that it would be best to just let her talk. It's more like a nightmare. He muttered. What was that? Nothing, Ino-chan, what did you want to talk about? I just thought that I should let you know that I managed to fix some of the damage you caused earlier. I still don't know what the hell was going through your mind. You took it way too far. Sakura and the others were completely unconvinced by your display. Naruto smiled apologetically up at her. I'm sorry. He shrugged his shoulders. So what happened after I left? Well, after we had our little confrontation. Sakura was curious to say the least. I tried to suggest that you asked me out because you wanted to try your luck with other girls. Maybe play the field a little. Also, I might have mentioned how beautiful I am. She spoke in a slightly amused tone. Yeah, whatever you say. Naruto brushed off that last comment. Then what happened? Hold on, I'm getting to it. Come on, Ino-chan, you woke me up, at least finish the story sometime tonight. Ino pouted, resisting the urge to hit him upside the head repeatedly. Anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up telling them that I might consider giving you a chance? The spiky-headed blonde fell over, landing on the floor. Get up, you idiot. I saved our plan from being completely destroyed. Ino-chan, I don't get it. How did saying that save things? Don't you get it? I said that I might give you a chance. Now all you have to do is ask me out again, and after some persuasion I'll say yes. Then we can really start putting this relationship into action, got it? Naruto nodded as he realized everything that Ino had explained to him. Okay, Ino, I got it. Good, well, I'm going to go home now. You seem to understand what to do. I'll see you around. Naruto rose to his feet as Ino was leaving. Hey Ino, wait up. I'll walk you home. She blinked curiously, turning around to face him. No, really, you don't have to. She tried to convince him. Yeah, I know, but it's late. It's not that big of a deal, I'll walk you. Besides, if we want to be convincing, we have to spend some time together, don't we? He asked her as he put on his jacket. Yeah, you're right. Thank you though. Sure, no problem. He gave her a smile. There was an awkward silence as they walked to Ino's house. It was mainly because neither one of them knew what to say at that moment. After a while, Ino decided to speak up. Hey Naruto? Yeah? He asked, turning his attention towards her. Those flowers, they were beautiful. You didn't really have to give them to me. I'm glad that you liked them, Ino-chan. It was all a part of the plan. I guess I didn't screw up everything, huh? No, I guess not. Just promise me no more crazy ass stunts like that. Huh? He laughed. I promise nothing. Yeah, figures he would say something like that. She rolled her eyes. The two blondes came to a stop in front of Ino's house. Alright Ino-chan, home sweet home, I guess. Yeah, thanks again Naruto, so I guess. Before Ino could say anything, someone's voice was heard. This caused the both of them to turn around. Ino, what are you doing with Naruto at this time of night? Ino held her mouth open as she tried to think of some sort of excuse. She needed something, and she needed it quick. Naruto simply ran his fingers through his hair. Shikamaru, it's nothing really. Ino said. Yeah, Naruto nodded. It's not like we were planning some type of secret meeting or anything. He shouted out loud in a nervous tone. Shikamaru raised an eyebrow to the both of them. Ino quickly grabbed Naruto, putting her hand over his mouth. Idiot, she muttered in his ear. She then looked up at her black-haired teammate. She then smiled for him. Naruto was just walking me home. We had a mission together. She quickly lied. So you know Naruto here, always the gentleman. He offered to walk me home. Isn't that right, Naruto? Yeah, he mumbled due to the fact that she still had her hand over his mouth. Ino let him. Shikamaru stared between the two of them. Whatever. He sighed. Anyway, I have to get this stuff home to my mom. You know how much she nags. Yeah, Ino nodded. We'll see you around, Shika. Later, Shikamaru. Naruto spoke. If Shikamaru had any other suspicions, he did not voice them. He only continued on his way home. Once he was gone, the platinum blonde turned her attention to Naruto. Way to go, Naruto. You might as well have told him everything, and save us the trouble of our plan having been found out by everyone. Sorry Ino-chan, I got nervous. Shikamaru is smart, so he most likely had his suspicions about seeing us together. He probably won't say anything though. He'll be back to watching his clouds and playing shogi in no time. Naruto just figured that he'd better leave now before there were any other surprises. Besides, there was some sleep that he needed to catch up on. Okay, well, good night, Ino-chan. He yawned. I'll see you around. Right, she agreed. Later, as Ino approached the door to her house, to her surprise it was instantly opened. An older blonde-haired woman appeared at the door. Naruto could tell that she was obviously Ino's mother. They looked too similar to not be of some sort of relation. Oh, Ino-chan, you're home. I thought that I heard your voice. She paused when she saw Naruto. Suddenly a smile appeared on her face. Oh, were you on a date? What? No mom, I wasn't. Don't be so rude, invite your handsome friend in. But Ino started. Naruto blinked as he tried to think of something to say. He needed to get out of this and fast. Mrs. Yamanaka, thank you for the offer. But it's fine, you don't have to invite me in. I was just making sure Ino-chan got home safe. And now that she's here I should probably be on my way. Good night. Before he could get any further, Mrs. Yamanaka grabbed a hold of his arm. Ino felt like slapping herself upside the head. Was this really his idea of getting out of here fast? Saying what he just said would only make her mother want him to come in more. Nonsense, you were very sweet in making sure that Ino got home safely. Come, I insist. Naruto could not protest as he was now being dragged into the house. Ino sighed heavily as she followed behind the two of them into the house. This probably won't end well. She whispered. You just have a seat and I'll go make us some tea and dango. Mrs. Yamanaka, would you like some help? The young man offered. The older blonde-haired woman turned to face Naruto. She looked almost stunned, as if she couldn't believe he had even offered. Or rather, it was as if she wasn't at all used to a young man being polite. Handsome and polite, well, he's definitely an upgrade from the last boy I met. Wouldn't you agree, Ino-chan? Yeah, sure, Mom. So does this handsome, polite young man have a name? She questioned. It's Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. Alright, Naruto. She smiled. Don't you worry about helping me? You just sit in here and make yourself at home. Ino sat down across from Naruto at the table. She waited until her mother left before turning her attention onto him. Listen up, when my mother gets back you need to make up some sort of excuse. Any kind of excuse, I don't care what it is. Just tell her that you have to leave. Yeah, that's all good, Ino-chan, but what exactly am I supposed to say to her? She seems pretty persistent. He noticed. Ino was about to say something when footsteps were heard. She saw not only her mother but her father as well. Oh shit, she thought. Her father was bound to scare Naruto shitless. She sort of felt bad for him now. He wasn't even her boyfriend and her father would definitely start giving him the third degree. According to Inoichi, all boys were considered guilty until proven innocent. And even after that they could only be trusted to a certain extent. Bottom line, no boy was good enough for his princess right now. I thought that I heard voices. Ino, princess, why don't you introduce me to your friend? Inoichi spoke, his eyes never leaving Naruto. Naruto gulped at the serious look in Mr. Yamanaka's eyes. Oh hell, please don't let him kill him. Don't let him kill me. Naruto thought. Sure, daddy. Naruto Uzumaki, this is my father, Inoichi Yamanaka. Naruto, say hi. He nodded. Hi, hello Yamanaka-san. He managed to get the words out. Naruto then bowed before the elder male. See honey, isn't he polite? Why don't you have a seat and we can all enjoy some tea and dango? Mrs. Yamanaka seemed cheerful. Inoichi simply nodded as he sat down at the table. Naruto felt more and more uncomfortable by the minute. He was sure that he hadn't felt such tension in a long time. Would you like some dango, Naruto? Ino's mother asked. Sure. He mumbled as he took some dango off the plate. Inoichi took a sip of his tea before looking over to where Naruto was sitting. So Naruto, what are your intentions with my daughter? Intentions? Yes, your plans. Was this a one-time thing? Or do you intend to date my daughter? Ino tried to get his attention by kicking the whisker-faced boy underneath the table. OWW. He exclaimed. Don't worry, daddy. Naruto doesn't have any plans, period. Isn't that right, Naruto? In fact, we weren't even on a date at all, were we? She asked with a serious look in those aqua-colored orbs. Oh, Ino-chan, don't be embarrassed. If you were on a date, it's perfectly okay. The older woman told her daughter. Well, Inoichi started. If it was a date, I do hope that you were nothing but a complete gentleman, Naruto. Because if you weren't, there could very well be consequences. Naruto did not look in Inoichi's eyes. That was it, he had to get out of there right now before he was suddenly a dead man. The blonde male immediately stood up. Yamanaka-san, I promise you on my love ramen that nothing inappropriate happened between Ino and me. I wouldn't treat her that way. And now I really have to go. I've got a busy day tomorrow, you know how it is. A shinobi's work is never done, you know. He laughed. Thank you, Mrs. Yamanaka, for the dango, good night. He bowed once more before heading to the door. Goodbye, Naruto, hopefully we will get to see more of you. Yeah, he nodded. If Mr. Yamanaka doesn't kill me first. Wait up, Naruto, I'll walk you out. Ino called after him. Inoichi waited until both Ino and Naruto were gone before he spoke again. Strange one, that boy, he seems okay, a little anxious though. Well dear, you can be very intimidating, what did you expect? His wife asked. I only want the best for our princess, you know that. I like him, dear. He's very polite, he could very well be good for Ino. Perhaps you should give him a chance. Maybe, he thought. Ino grabbed a hold of Naruto, trying to stop him from taking off. She wanted to at least get the chance to apologize to him. Naruto, wait a moment. Oh hell no. When I signed on for this, I didn't ask for your father to offer to break every bone in my body and kill me. He shouted. I'm sorry. She nodded. My father is, well, he's just a little overprotective. But don't worry, he won't hurt you, hopefully. Hopefully, he repeated. The platinum blonde just shot him a smile. Don't worry, it's not like you're my boyfriend or anything. You'll most likely never have to talk to my father again. We're only doing this to convince other people that we're a couple, not him. She reminded the whisker-faced boy. All Naruto could think about was getting home and going to sleep. A part of him had hoped that this had all been a dream. Maybe I'm still at home sleeping. He thought hopefully. Nah, that's too much to hope for. Ino-chan, I'm going to go home, okay? I'm tired and I really need to sleep. Yeah, hey Naruto, I was thinking that we should give it to a few days time before you ask me out again. Alright, that's fine. Okay, good night Naruto. Night. Ino waited until he was completely gone from sight before heading back inside. She had to admit that given the circumstances, Naruto handled himself well. He seemed to impress her mother, that's for sure. He did pretty good, at least he'll be prepared when he meets Forehead's parents. Her parents looked up when she entered the living room. They appeared to be in deep conversation. What's wrong? Ino wondered. Ino, your father and I have decided that we want you to invite Naruto over for dinner. She looked surprised. Mom, Daddy, Naruto and I. Oh, so he is your boyfriend. Mrs. Yamanaka smiled widely. I knew it. He'll be good for you, I can tell. No mom, you don't understand. Boyfriend or not, if you're going to be spending time with Naruto, I still want the chance to get to know him, okay Ino? Mr. Yamanaka's voice held a serious tone. Ino figured that there was no use in arguing with her parents. If they wanted Naruto over for dinner, then they would have it. Fine daddy, if you insist, I'll ask and see when it's a good time for him to come over. Oh Ino-chan, is tea here any meal in particular that he likes? He'll eat whatever you prepare, dear, and he'll like it. Inoichi spoke. Ino didn't even have to think twice about what Naruto's favorite food was. She may not have been very close to him, but everyone knew that he was a ramen addict. Make ramen, mom. Make ramen and lots of it. Now I'm going to bed if no one minds, it's been a long day. Ino marched up the stairs to her room. She could literally feel a headache coming on. She was starting to wonder if this so-called relationship would be stressful like this today. If so, then the blonde knew that she was going to have her work cut out for her. And now my parents want him over for dinner, just great. That'll be a night to remember, and probably not a good one at that. She closed her eyes, preparing to go to sleep. Oh well, I'll deal with this another time. I'm way too tired to think. With that being said, the blonde teen found herself drifting off to sleep. Halfway across Konoha, her blonde counterpart had finally made his way to his apartment. Naruto plopped down on his bed, placing his hands behind his head. Damn, this was a long day. First I get in the head not just by Sakura-chan but by Ino too. Then Shikamaru finds us together, and now I think Mr. Yamanaka secretly wants to cause me have a slow, painful death. Naruto sighed. This is either going to help me or send me to an early grave. Oh well, this is Ino's plan, I'm sure she's got it covered. At least I hope that she does. So this is it, huh? Naruto started as he stared down as his blonde counterpart. Yeah, it's now or never. I'll go in first and you come in later and ask me out, and we'll figure the rest of it out from there. Ino said. Naruto looked stunned as he opened his mouth wide. What? You mean you don't have any idea what you're doing? Ino, I thought that you had this whole thing planned out. Ino shrugged her shoulders, smiling sheepishly. Naruto sighed, hitting himself upside the head. I don't believe this. Sorry, it's not like we had time to sit and really plan this all out. Naruto said nothing as he resisted the urge to bang his head upside the wall in frustration. So there was still every chance that their plan could possibly fail. Then again, no plan was completely foolproof. There was always room for error. Fine, let's just get this over with. Right, she agreed. Oh, she stopped, turning to look at him. Naruto, whatever you do, don't screw up. Yeah, don't worry. I won't screw up. Ino raised an eyebrow to him in suspicion. Yeah, well, you should probably have some sort of signal to warn me, if you have something idiotic planned out. I need to be aware of these things. I'll cough really loudly if things go wrong. He decided. Ino seemed to agree to this, for she said nothing else to him. The platinum blonde entered the restaurant to see most of their friends. She saw Sakura, Hinata, Kiba, Neji, Lee, and Tenten. Hey Ino, what's up? Come on and join us. We were just about to have lunch. Sakura said to her. Sure, okay. She agreed as she sat down besides Neji and Sakura. The two couples were sitting across from them. So how are our favorite couples doing today? Ino asked cheerfully. Hinata blushed as Kiba squeezed her hand underneath the table. We're good, you don't have to worry. Kiba nodded. I should hope so. I wouldn't want Hinata-sama to feel anything other than contentment when she's around you. Neji spoke in his usual calm manner. Kiba frowned as he resisted the urge to shout something at the stoic Hyuga. Neji ni-san, Kiba-kun treats me very well. You don't have to worry. She assured him. Good. He nodded. Ino could feel the tension in the room. Okay, well, let's order something, she said, trying to clear the tension away. Meanwhile, Naruto paced back and forth outside. Damn, what the hell can I say when I go in there? He thought. Yo, Naruto. He heard his name. The blue-eyed male turned around to see both Choji and Shikamaru. Hey Shikamaru, Choji, what's going on? Nothing, Choji just wanted to grab something to eat. And since we just got back from a mission, I decided to tag along. What, it's not too troublesome for you, Shikamaru? Naruto laughed. Some things aren't always troublesome. But at the sound of the black-haired male's stomach, Naruto smiled knowingly. You're starving, huh? Yeah, he only nodded. So am I. Choji agreed. Let's go in already. The three teens entered the restaurant only to see that their friends were there as well. Ino looked up to see Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji. She smiled to herself. This really couldn't get any more perfect if they had planned everything. Now that so many of their friends were here, they could be convincing in front of all of them. Hey Naruto, Choji, Shikamaru, come over and join us, okay? The blonde Kunoichi shouted to them. Alright geez Ino, we can hear you know. Shikamaru sighed. Yeah, but now we're probably deaf in one or both of our ears. Naruto teased. I heard that, Uzumaki. She frowned. As the three males went to sit down, Naruto decided to take some action in his plan with Ino. Hey Choji, do you mind if I sit next to Ino-chan? He asked. No, but why would you even want to? I didn't know that you two were that close. We aren't. Ino intervened. But if he wants to sit next to me, I won't stop him. Sakura blinked in confusion. Something was up with those two for sure. They were both just acting way too weird. What's with you, Naruto? I would have thought that you wanted to sit next to Sakura or something. Shikamaru asked his friend. It was no secret that everyone knew about Naruto's crush on Sakura. Nah, it's cool. I want to sit next to Ino-chan today. Besides, someone has to make sure that she eats. He laughed out loud. The aqua-colored-eyed teen hit him in the stomach. Shut up and sit, she told him. Sure thing. He nodded. Before long, barbecue pork, sushi, onigiri, and naturally ramen had been ordered for the entire table. Hey Choji, Shika, how was your mission? Ino asked them. It went well, Choji said through mouthfuls of pork. It was troublesome, but we managed to handle things. Kiba had leaned over, pecking Hinata's cheek. She blushed slightly at the contact. The blue-haired girl wasn't nearly as shy as she used to be, but naturally she still had some of her previous tendencies. Ah, that's really so cute. Ino cooed. Naruto coughed loudly, trying to let her know that he was ready to begin. She on the other hand assumed that he was about to do something stupid. "What's the matter, Naruto? Do you need some water here? Drink." She forcefully grabbed him, pouring the ice-cold water down his throat. "Damn you," he thought as he swallowed the water. He let out a breath. "Gee, Ino-chan, I didn't know that you cared so much. Does this mean that you'll take me up on that date?" The table was silenced, just waiting for her answer. Ino blinked, realizing that he had started their plan. It was now up to come up with something. "I already said no, didn't I?" "Yeah, I know, but I told you that I wasn't going to give up." Naruto stood up, placing both of his hands onto the table. "Come on, Ino-chan, let's go out." Ino stood up as well, staring into his cerulean blue orbs. "No, Naruto. You'll have fun, I promise." "Listen to me, Naruto, the answer is no. We aren't going anywhere." Naruto pouted, folding his arms. "Why won't you listen to reason? You'll have fun with me, I promise." "No, no, no times infinity." She shook her head, ponytail swinging and all. "Yes, yes, yes times infinity, and 1 + 3 bowls of pork ramen." "There, now you have to say yes to me. You can't dare go back on the ramen." He smiled. The platinum blonde sighed heavily. This was going on for way too long. It was time to put the finishing touches onto their plan. Alright already, fine. You can take me out if it will get you to shut up. Pick me up at Friday around 7 and don't you dare be late, do you hear me?" "Yes, ma'am." He nodded eagerly. "I'll be there, I got to go though, so I'll see you around, guys." The blonde male said no more as he quickly jetted up out of the restaurant. Ino watched him leave, resisting the urge to go after him. Instead, Sakura had got up from the table first. "I'm going to go talk to him," she decided. "What the hell did we just see?" Naruto asking Ino out. Kiba spoke. "Yeah, well, strange things happen all the time, I guess," Choji said. "Our friend is just bursting with the flames of youth." Lee's voice held its usual enthusiasm. Ten pulled her boyfriend back into his seat. "Lee-kun, shut up, okay?" She smiled as she kissed his cheek, causing a blush to rise to his cheeks. Ino, on the other hand, had not been paying attention to anything being said. In truth, she was curious as to what Naruto and Sakura were talking about. She wasn't really sure why she even cared though. "It's none of my business, he'll tell me later anyway," she decided. Meanwhile, outside, Sakura had finally caught up to Naruto. "Hey Naruto, can we talk for a moment?" she wondered. "Oh hey Sakura-chan, what's up?" "Well, everything's good with me, but what's going on with you? Why the sudden interest in Ino Pig?" He paused. "It's just going to be for one date." "Are you jealous, Sakura-chan?" he grinned. The pink-haired medic Nin paused at his question. She wasn't really sure on how to answer him. Well, it's okay if you are." Sakura didn't know if she was jealous or not. And even if she was, she wasn't about to admit it in front of Naruto. "No, I'm not. I just wanted to see if you were okay. I still can't believe that you asked Ino out." "Yeah, me either," he thought to himself. "Yeah, well, it's just one date, that's all I have to get going." "I'll see you, okay, Sakura-chan." She only blinked curiously, deciding to leave it alone for a while. When she entered the restaurant, she saw that Ino was gone as well. "Hey, where did Ino go?" She said something about going to prepare for the worst date of her life, and then she bailed. Kiba answered the green-eyed girl. "Maybe it won't be so bad." Ten started. "Hell, maybe they'll even like each other or something." There was another pause of silence before Choji and Kiba started busting out laughing. "Ino falling for our number one, hyperactive knucklehead? Nah, I just can't see it." "Well, why not? Why is it so hard to imagine? I mean, they actually have a lot in common. They're both loud, outspoken, it just may work." Sakura stood there with her finger to her chin as she appeared to be in deep thought. "They said that they were going out on Friday, right?" "Hi, Sakura-chan." Hinata nodded. "Well, let's follow them and see how it all turns out. I bet 50 Ryo that it's going to be a complete disaster." "I'm with you, Sakura." Kiba nodded, placing his bet with the pink-haired girl. "It's troublesome and I don't know why this is any of my business. But it could work, those two are similar. They may be able to make something out of this date." "I agree too." Hinata spoke. "I believe that Naruto-kun and Ino-chan's personalities are very similar." Sakura could see that everyone was picking sides. "What do you say, Ten, you up for a friendly little bet?" "I think that you hang around Tsunade-sama too much. But hell yeah, I'm up for this little bet. 500 Ryo, was it?" "Yep, 500 Ryo, and the losers have to clean up the winners' apartments for a week." "You're on. So it's me, Hinata, and Shikamaru versus you and Kiba." Don't forget about me. Choji spoke. I mean, I agree that those two are alike, but sometimes two of the same can end in disaster. Thanks, Choji. Sakura smiled. I will have no part in this silly little bet of yours. It's up to Ino and Naruto to decide how far they are going to go. Neji said. Lee-kun, what about you? What's your take on this? And I swear if you even mention anything at all about youth. Hey, he laughed. I'd prefer not to bet on anything, but Ten-Ten-chan, you know that I am always on your side. She nodded because that was the answer that she had been looking for. There you have it. Neji's neutral, Hinata, Shikamaru, and Lee agree with me. While you, Choji, and Kiba think that it's going to be a disaster. You're kind of outnumbered, Sakura. You sure you still want to go through with this? The brown-haired girl asked. The green-eyed girl just smirked, looking very enthusiastic. There was no way in hell she was going to back down just because she was outnumbered. I'm game. It doesn't matter about the numbers or the odds. All that really matters is the outcome. Yeah, you definitely hang out with Tsunade-sama too much. The group of friends laughed at this. Although it was true, Sakura could very well be described as a young Tsunade or Tsunade version 2.0 if you will. Hell, even Tsunade Jr. would suffice. Okay, that's enough laughter. I think this will be fun though, and maybe we can find out why Naruto's acting so weird. The pink-haired girl said. So everything's finalized, are we all in? Kiba asked as he raised his glass. Everyone looked around the room, raising their glasses as well, some with sake, others with water. Yes, looks like we all agree. Sakura started. Here's to the bet. The bet. All the other voices shouted out with their glasses raised high in the air. Naruto had been on his way to his apartment when a voice stopped him dead in his tracks. So what did you and Sakura talk about? He exclaimed. The blonde male looked up to see Ino sitting in the tree above him. Ino, what the hell are you doing up there? She jumped down from her spot, landing in front of him. I knew that you would eventually come through here. I just wanted to know what you and Sakura talked about. Naruto stood in silence for a moment. He wasn't really sure what to make of any of this. Why did Ino care anyway? It wasn't like it was any of her business. She just wanted to know why I was taking you out on Friday. Interesting, Ino said before walking off. Naruto followed after her. What do you mean interesting? What's so interesting? All that growing up you did and you're still as dense as ever, huh? The fact that she even questioned why we're going out Friday means that she's interested. Hell, she might even be jealous for all we know. You really think so, Ino-chan? Yeah, she might be. It's hard to tell what goes on through that head of hers. So we just have to make sure that this date goes extremely well. So we can pretend to be a couple right away. That way it will make everyone believe us, especially Forehead. Naruto only nodded, then gave her a warm, bright smile. You got it. Ino, we can pull this off, believe it. Yeah, let's hope so. Anyway, pick me up around 7 on Friday. Don't worry about doing anything serious, technically it's not a real date. I'm sure, if that's what you want. There was a moment of silence. Naruto turned his attention elsewhere and Ino stared down at her fingernails. I feel like I should say something. He thought. I have to run. My mom wants me at the flower shop today. So I guess that I will see you on Friday then. Yeah, I guess so, see you later, Ino-chan. Later. She waved, leaving the blue-eyed male standing there. He waited until she was completely out of sight before leaving himself. That was awkward, he whispered. A part of Naruto had always wondered if there was even a point to any of this. Would he get Sakura in the end? Or would he get over his crush on the pink-haired female like Ino had suggested? Well, whatever happens, it's not like I'll fall for Ino or something. He laughed at the absurdity. No way will that happen. Halfway across town, another blonde had similar thoughts on her mind. Was this really all for nothing? Could he even get over his crush on Sakura? Ino wasn't completely sure why she had wanted to help at first. It did have something to do with the fact that she thought it would be fun to see Sakura's reaction. But now it was starting to become more than that. Spending time with Naruto had made her see that he was a good guy. And he deserved to have what he wanted. If he genuinely wants her, then it's up to me to step up my game. I'll help him as best as I can. She decided. Besides, it's not like I'll end up falling for him or something. She laughed at the sheer thought of it. No, that won't happen. Before anyone realized it, Friday had arrived. Naruto stood in the bathroom getting dressed for the big date. He decided on a black t-shirt and a pair of black pants. He looked in the mirror. It was certainly a change from his trademark orange. I bet Ino-chan will be surprised that I'm not wearing orange. Hey, he laughed. She might not even recognize me or something. He also decided against wearing his headband, choosing to leave his hair out and wilder than usual. Yes, Uzumaki Naruto was looking his best today and he was ready for his first non-official date. He may have been ready, but Yamanaka Ino on the other hand was not. She rummaged through her closet in search of something to wear. Damn it, I have no idea what to wear. When there was a knock at her door, she looked up and stopped what she was doing. Ino, honey, is everything alright in there? Yes, Mom, I'm just looking for something to wear. I've got plans in a few hours. At this, her mother came into the room smiling for her daughter. Oh, I remember these times. I used to struggle to find outfits to wear on my dates with your father all the time. Yeah, but this is different, the younger blonde said as she went back to looking through her clothes. Huh, I got it. She picked up a black skirt, a pair of red shorts to go underneath, with a light red tank top, and decided on a black jacket to put over her. It'll look fine, honey. I'm sure Naruto won't care what you wear. What? Mom, how did you? Wait, who says that I had plans with Naruto? Call it mother's intuition if you want, but I suppose that he'll be coming to pick you up in a little while. You'd better get ready, dear. Sure, she nodded as she went to get ready for her date. Ino had to admit that she was curious. She wondered if Naruto had something planned. Knowing him, he might just surprise me with something. I just hope that whatever it is, it's not too crazy. The blonde Kunoichi sat down and waited for Naruto to come pick her up. Why don't you wear your hair out, Ino, honey? You look so pretty with your hair down. Naruto will be blown away. But Mom, I don't think. She wanted to say that it really didn't matter what she did with her hair. It wasn't as if Naruto would even care about how she wore her hair. Trust me, it'll be fine. I'm your mother, you can trust my judgment. Okay, Mom, whatever you say. Ino did as her mother suggested and released her hair from its ponytail. Her long blonde locks cascaded around her shoulders. You look beautiful, dear. Naruto won't know what hit him. Yeah, I hope he gets here soon. It's almost 7. The blonde male was making his way to the Yamanaka household. He felt a sudden nervousness run through him. He was mostly afraid of Mr. Yamanaka. What if he wanted to grill him with questions again? Or worse, what if he tried to kill him? I'm too young to die, he thought. Yo, Naruto. Good evening, Naruto-kun. He heard. He looked to see Kiba and Hinata. Oh hey, Hinata-chan. Kiba, you two out on a date or something? Yeah, something like that, Kiba said as to not give away that they would be following him and Ino around tonight. Are you on your way to pick up Ino-chan? Hinata asked. Yep, he nodded. Oh, I better run, it's almost 7. I'll see you both around. Bye. The couple waved to the blonde-haired male and waited until he was gone. He won't even notice that we're tailing him. We can meet up with everyone else later. Kiba spoke out loud. But Kiba-kun, shouldn't we have asked where he was taking Ino-chan? The brown-haired boy blinked. Oh shit, he cursed. Yeah, probably. Oh well, I guess we'll find out soon enough and then tell the others. Naruto arrived at Ino's house to be greeted by Mrs. Yamanaka. Oh hello, Naruto-kun, come in, Ino will be right down. Alright, Mrs. Yamanaka. He nodded as he entered the house. Ino-chan, get down here, okay. Naruto is here. Naruto looked around in a somewhat nervous manner. Why don't we look handsome tonight? She noticed. Oh thanks, Mrs. Yamanaka. Mr. Yamanaka isn't around, is he? You know, somewhere waiting to kill me, he wanted to say. She chuckled lightly. Inoichi could be very intimidating when he wanted to be. No, he had a last-minute mission, he won't be home for days. The young man sighed in relief. He was saved for now anyway. Ino came down the stairs. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise. Ino stopped as she saw the handsome boy standing in her living room. Ino-chan? His voice held a hint of surprise. Naruto? You're not wearing purple. He pointed to her. And you're not wearing that horrible orange. He frowned as she insulted his favorite color. Your hair, it's not in a ponytail. You look really pretty like that. And wow, he really cleans up nicely. He looks hot, she thought to herself. You look different, Naruto, but it's a good different. Are those flowers for me? She asked as she walked over to the blonde dressed in black. Yeah, here. You didn't get them from our flower shop, did you? That would have been tacky. I know, I didn't get them from here. I picked them up myself. I'll put them in some water. Ino's mother interrupted. You two get going and have fun. Okay, bye Mom. I'll be back around 10 or so. Bye Mrs. Yamanaka, have a good evening. Thank you, Naruto-kun. She waved as the two shinobi left the house. It was quiet as they walked the street side by side. Ino couldn't stop thinking about how different he looked right now. She would be lying if she didn't say he looked damn good. Ino-chan, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. I guess I still can't believe that you're not wearing orange. Yeah, he laughed. And you aren't wearing purple, that's a first. Ino was about to turn to the left but noticed that Naruto kept walking straight. Naruto, Ichiraku's is this way. Yeah, I know that, but we aren't going to Ichiraku's. I thought that we could go somewhere different. Is that okay? He was going to take them somewhere that didn't involve ramen. Was she dreaming? If so, then someone needed to pinch her now so that she could wake up. A problem? Are you kidding? This is great, lead the way. Naruto smiled for her and continued to lead the way. Ino was surprised to see that they were at a very nice restaurant by the name of Yuichiro's. It was definitely an upgrade from the ramen bar. Ino had to say that she was impressed. Wow, he really is unpredictable. Sakura is going to be one really lucky girl. The blondes were seated at a table. Naruto even held out her chair for her as she sat down. She thought that this was very gentlemanlike of him. She also noticed that the table they were sitting was by the window. It gave them a great view of the flower gardens outside. I picked this place especially for you, Ino-chan. There's no ramen. He pouted at this. And they have a nice view of some flowers here. Ino thought that it was incredibly sweet of him to do this. She hadn't been considering this a real date, but somehow he was starting to make her feel like it was one. Naruto, she started. He looked up, his cerulean blue orbs staring into her aqua-colored pools. Yeah, what's up? You really didn't have to do any of this. Yeah, but it's for appearances, right? I had to impress you. He grinned. Well, this is definitely impressive. Menus were placed in front of them. But the two blondes didn't know that there were several pairs of eyes watching from the safety of the bushes. Sakura, Ten, Lee, Kiba, and Hinata were watching. They had a bet going on. It was important that they be here for this. So what's happening so far? Sakura asked as she had just arrived. Nothing really, they just sat down a few minutes ago. I don't believe it, Naruto's not wearing orange. Sakura's eyes widened in surprise. Ha, yeah, I know. Kiba laughed. It's a miracle. So where's Shikamaru? The pink-haired girl asked Ten, noticing that he was not there. Oh, you know, this was far too troublesome, so he stayed home. He wants to know what happens later though. Speaking of which, where is Choji? He should be here too. He couldn't make it either, something about a mission he had to go on with his father. I guess it's just us then. It looks that way. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, Naruto and Ino were eating in silence. No one really knew what to say right now. It felt sort of awkward. Come on, say something, damn it. Ino thought. I don't know why Ino-chan isn't talking. She's always talking. The platinum blonde looked up, staring at Naruto for a moment. Naruto? What's up? You have a little bit of sauce on your cheek. I do, damn. I'll get it. She leaned over with a napkin and began to wipe his face. Naruto flinched at her soft touch. Hold still, alright. Hi, sorry, Ino-chan. Ino stared down into those beautiful blue orbs of his. She couldn't believe she never noticed how intense and gorgeous they were. Was his eyes always this blue? She wondered as she let him go. Thanks a lot, Ino. Sure, did you see that? Sakura pointed. They looked just like a couple. Ten finished with a smirk. Lee could not control the happiness that he was feeling. He stood up with his fist clenched. Ino-chan and Naruto-kun are just beginning to feel the burning flames of their youth. He shouted, "Shut up, Lee." Kiba, Ten, and Sakura pulled the black-haired male back to the ground. Lee-kun, be quiet before we're spotted. The brunette warned her boyfriend. Inside the restaurant, Ino shuddered. What's wrong, are you cold? Naruto wondered. No, it's just a sort of feeling that I had. It felt strange. Naruto, do you feel like we're being watched or something? Naruto took a sip of his drink as he thought more about what Ino had asked. No, I didn't feel anything strange just now. Okay, well, maybe it was just me then. Naruto, when we leave here, I think that you should hold my hand. He jumped back. I thought that you weren't considering this a real date. It's possible that we might run into one of our friends. We have to make it look like we're enjoying ourselves. That's true, I guess. He nodded. Okay, I'll hold your hand. She sensed his reluctance. Don't worry, I don't have any diseases or anything. You'll be fine. Oh, I didn't mean to. He paused. Never mind, let's get going, okay? There's a special place that I want to show you. Alright. As they were leaving, Naruto immediately reached for Ino's hand. I don't believe it. Kiba started. Ten couldn't contain the smile on her face. She had this in the bag for sure. She didn't even feel the need to follow them around anymore. Sakura, you should probably pay up that 500 ryo now and save yourself the embarrassment. Come on Lee, let's go, I think that we've seen enough. Before Sakura could respond, the black-haired boy sneezed. Achoo. Lee wiped his nose. Did you hear that? Ino spoke. Yeah. Naruto nodded. It came from over there. Oh shit. Kiba and Sakura cursed. Just then the two of them and Hinata jumped back, leaving the couple sitting there. Ten was starting to panic. She then grabbed Lee, pulling him towards here. Lee-kun, kiss me now. Ino lead the way towards the bushes, looking over them to see the couple in a lip lock. Naruto followed behind her, his eyes widened as he saw who it was. Ten-chan, Lee? Oh hello Naruto-kun, Ino-chan. Lee smiled. What are you two doing out here behind the bushes? The platinum blonde asked. Ten wrapped her arms around Lee, smiling for the two blondes. So if I want to kiss my boyfriend behind some bushes, then what's wrong with that? Yeah, it's not like we were committing a crime. Ino sighed as she reached for Naruto's hand. She figured that they should leave now before things got any stranger. You guys are sick. You're just sick. Ino shouted at them. Come on Naruto, let's go. Alright, good night you guys. Sakura, Kiba, and Hinata waited until they were gone from sight before coming back. Ten had half the mind to curse them out for leaving in that way. At least I know who I can count on when things get a little tough. The brunette spoke. Sorry, it was Lee's fault anyway, he sneezed. Sakura grinned apologetically. Ten just rolled her eyes, deciding not to say anything. We'll just have to wait and ask the two of them how they felt about it. But don't think that you've won just yet, Ten. Sakura yawned. It's getting late, we should probably call it a night. Yes Sakura, I think that we've pretty much lost this bet. They didn't kill each other, argue or anything at all like that. Hell, they were even holding hands. Kiba told the pink-haired medic Nin. I don't know, I guess I just expected their personalities to clash or something. It's okay Sakura-chan, you didn't expect to lose, that's all. Ten laughed as she put her hand on the younger girl's shoulder. Whatever. She sighed. I'm going home, I'll see you guys later. She waved. Later. Kiba nodded. Bye Sakura-chan. Hinata spoke. Bye Sakura, and don't forget when you clean my apartment, that includes my weapons. All of my weapons, she added with a smile. Okay, Ten, I got it. She laughed at her friend before disappearing into the night. Ino found that Naruto had taken her to the top of the Hokage monument. He had yet to let go of her hand. She assumed that it was because he had become used to it in that short amount of time. Naruto, you can let go now, it's okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. He slowly let her hand go, the warmth fading quickly. So what are we doing here besides the fact that it's a great view of Konoha from up here? Well, you remember when you took to your favorite place. This is my favorite place, I like to come up here and think sometimes. He remembered my flower field. She thought, yeah, I can see why, you do want to become Hokage after all. Yeah, he nodded. Come on Sid, it's still early, I don't have to take you home just yet, right? Nope. She shook her head as she sat beside him. Naruto lay down, putting his hands behind his head as he gazed up at the sky. I like watching the stars. When I was little I used to try to reach out and touch them. Naruto laughed. Yeah, Ino nodded. I think that all kids are like that. Maybe I guess I just always set my goals kind of high. I used to imagine that I was up there with them. You know what's higher than the stars? He looked suddenly serious. I'm sorry Ino-chan, I'm not making much sense, am I? You're making perfect sense to me. Naruto, I'm sure that you'll make a great Hokage one day. The blonde boy sat up, locking eyes with her. You really think so? Yeah, I do. Call it woman's intuition. She laughed. Okay, well that's good enough for me. He grinned, giving her the thumbs up. There was silence for a moment as Ino turned her gaze elsewhere. Naruto, let's not waste any more time. I think that we've done a damn good job of convincing people that we could be a couple. So are you ready to start acting like one as soon as possible? Yeah, he nodded. I'm more than ready, Ino-chan. She gave him a bright smile and put out her hand for him to shake. Then let the games begin, Uzumaki. He smiled back, shaking her hand. You're on Yamanaka. Ino sat down on the bench with her eyes closed as she sat thinking. It was really such a nice, peaceful, relaxing afternoon. She found that she could just sit here all day if she had allowed it. Her peace was soon interrupted by the sound of several pairs of feet making their way over to her. So how did it go? Sakura asked. Yeah, how did your big date with Naruto go? Was it just the best time that you ever had? Ten said. Or was it a complete nightmare? A pair of bright aqua-colored eyes opened. She focused her attention onto her friends. How rude did they have to be right now? Didn't they realize that they were disturbing her relaxation? What's wrong with you guys? Why the hell are you asking so many questions? We're just curious. You didn't seem too thrilled about the date, you know. Kiba spoke. So what's up, Ino Pig? Did you enjoy yourself or what? Ino could have sworn that she saw a hint of desperation in those jade green pools. Please say that you had a lousy time. Sakura thought to herself. She didn't want to lose the bet to 10-10. She hoped that her 500 ryo could be saved. Ino leaned back against the bench. She could feel everyone's eyes on her. They were just waiting for her to give them an answer. Well, Ino started. Well, what happened? Speak already. It went well. I actually had a good time. Naruto was a complete gentleman. He was very sweet. Sakura sighed and 10-10 cheered loudly. Looks like we won, huh guys? She turned her attention to Lee, Hinata, and the lazy Nara. Pay up, Sakura. The pink-haired medic Nin held her head down in defeat. Ino paused while she processed the events in front of her. It sounded like they all had a bet going on. What the hell? You mean you guys had a bet going on? Yep. Choji nodded. Sakura, Kiba and I betted that it would be a disaster. On the other hand, Hinata, Lee, and Shikamaru placed their bets with me that it would go well. 10-10 admitted. Ino sat in awe at her friends. Did they have so little to do with their own lives that they placed bets on something so ridiculous? The blonde had expected the attention, but she really hadn't thought it would get this far. So is that why you and Lee were hiding in the bushes? You were spying on us. You guys really are sick, all of you. She added. Okay, we've already established that, so give us some details. We didn't see everything. There's not a lot to say. He picked me up, brought me some flowers. We ate at this really nice restaurant, and after we sat up on the Hokage monument for a while just watching the stars. That sounds really nice, Ino-chan. Hinata said. Yeah, Ino nodded. The platinum blonde could only think of one thing that upset the night. She didn't know why it happened. The only thing she knew was that it wasn't Naruto's fault in the slightest. Only it did leave her wondering. Flashback. Naruto was walking Ino back home when a middle-aged man had bumped into her. It caused her to fall back. She would have fallen if Naruto hadn't caught her before she hit the ground. Are you okay, Ino-chan? He questioned with his arms wrapped around her waist. Yeah, I'm okay, no thanks to this jerk. Apologize to her. Naruto told the man. The man blinked. He looked as if he had been drinking or something. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetness, but if you don't mind my asking, what are you doing with this monster? He pointed to Naruto. Monster? Ino repeated. Yeah, are you saying that you don't know about him? He's a beast. Naruto frowned slightly. He then took Ino's hand within his. Let's go, okay, Ino-chan. You should probably go get sober, you stink of alcohol. Ino gave the man one last look before she and Naruto walked away. All she could really think about was what he had just said. Once they were away from the drunken male, Naruto slowly let her hand go. I'm sorry he knocked you down. Yeah, that's alright, don't worry about it. But Naruto, what was that back there? Why did he call you a monster? You may have been a knucklehead, but you're not a monster. Naruto immediately stopped walking. His back was turned to her as he stood frozen for a moment. He soon turned to look at her, shooting her a brave smile. Don't worry about that. Come on, let's get you home. End of flashback. I still wonder what that was all about. What's up, Ino? Why do you look like you're so far away right now? I was only thinking, that's all. Anyway, Naruto and I had a good time. In fact, we're going out again. Tenten's face seemed to light up at this little revelation. I knew that you two would be able to get along. Sakura, how do you want to pay me that 500 ryo? Will you be paying in small installments, or can I expect you to pay up front in full? You'll get your money. Sakura nearly growled. You should have never made that bet, forehead. I bet this was all your idea anyway. None of you should have. Actually, it was up to Naruto and me to decide if we would enjoy ourselves. You had a good time though, we got that. Let it go, Sakura, you've lost. Shikamaru tried to warn her. Yeah, I know. Here, 10-10. She reached into her purse, taking out the 500 ryo. Thanks, Sakura, let me know if you ever want to lose again. Oh no, there will be no more betting on my personal life. It's rude, not to mention it makes you guys look like you have absolutely no life whatsoever. I'm going to go though and see if I can find Naruto. We do have another date coming up. And with that, she left her friends alone to ponder everything. You guys, what do you make of all of that? Choji asked. What can we make of it? She said that she had fun. Ino wouldn't lie about having a good time but… Sakura started. You still want to ask Naruto huh? Kiba asked. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion. Maybe I just might get my 500 Ryo back. She thought hopefully. Sakura, I think it's a negative on that one. Yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, let's go find him, he should be around here somewhere. Meanwhile, Naruto stood on the streets of Konoha in a slight panic. There he was, so close to the Yamanaka's flower shop and so far away from Ichiraku's. If I make a run for it, maybe I can avoid seeing Mr. Yamanaka. He took a deep breath and ran off past the flower shop. I'm home free. Naruto. A deep voice was heard. Oh fuck. He cursed mentally. Naruto stopped, turning around to see none other than Inoichi Yamanaka. Hello Yamanaka-san. He nodded. What's this I hear about you taking Ino out on a date? Well, I hope that you were nothing but a complete gentleman's son. He put his hand onto the young man's shoulder. Naruto swallowed hard, staring up into those intense eyes. Yeah, of course. And it wasn't really a date. It was. So you were only using my daughter. What? No sir. Daddy? Ino's voice was heard. She was now making her way over to the two of them. Ino-chan, you're home. I was just having a friendly chat with Naruto here about your date. Somehow Ino didn't buy that Naruto seemed scared shitless once again. Daddy, don't scare him, okay? We had a great time, right Naruto-kun? Yeah, he only nodded. In fact, we're going out again, aren't we? I'm sure, if you don't mind Mr. Yamanaka. The taller male stood with his arms folded. He stared between his daughter and the second blonde. Very well, I suppose I couldn't stop you even if I tried, huh, princess? Ino smiled for her father. You got it. Ino nodded. Ino talked to Naruto about what we spoke about. All right. I have to go now, I'll see you in a few days. Alright, bye daddy. Bye. Goodbye Naruto. Goodbye Yamanaka-san. Once her father was gone from sight, Ino walked over to him. She wanted to make sure that he was okay after his encounter with her dad. Are you alright? Oh yeah, I'm fine. There's no problem here. He sighed. Hey Ino, I think that we're going to have to plan this better, you know, since your father is trying to kill me. He exclaimed. The blue-eyed female chuckled lightly at the hilarious expression on his face. Naruto looked down at her, blinking curiously. What's so funny? It's nothing, I'm sorry about my father. She apologized. It's fine, but what did he mean? What do we have to talk about? Ino remembered that she was supposed to invite him over for dinner. It wasn't as if she had completely forgotten. She just chose not to bring it up to him. She also hoped that maybe her father would have forgotten. But that was hoping for too much. Oh, that you don't have to worry about it right now. Alright, whatever you say. His stomach started grumbling. It made him remember that he had been on his way to Ichiraku's. I guess you're starving off to Ichiraku's it is then, right? You got it. He smiled. I haven't had any ramen for days since our non-date. Days, Ino repeated. I really didn't think that you could go that long without your ramen fix. Very funny Ino-chan. There was silence as the two blondes stared at one another. Ino turned her attention elsewhere and Naruto did the same, running his fingers through his blonde locks. Ino wasn't sure why she had felt suddenly strange around him. Perhaps it was because her mind was still on the events of their date. She honestly had a pretty good time with him. Hey, I'm going to go, alright, that ramen is calling. Yeah, I'll see you around then. Naruto waved goodbye and headed towards Ichiraku's. He didn't get far when he heard Ino call out to him. Hey Naruto, wait. Yeah? He turned back to meet her gaze. I just wanted to say that I had a pretty good time, thanks. Sure, I'm glad that you had fun, Ino-chan. Naruto, there you are. The blonde male looked to see Sakura followed by the rest of their friends. Sakura-chan, what's up? Hey, I'm glad that I ran into you. I was wondering how your date with Ino went. Yeah, tell us Naruto. Sakura here seems to be under the impression that your date was a complete disaster. Ten smiled rather smugly. Naruto blinked again. Ino sighed and started to make her way closer to the group of friends. Naruto, you won't believe this, but our idiotic friends had a bet going on about our date. Really? Wow, you guys are lame. Ino-chan and I had a great time, didn't we? He grinned. Yeah, that's what I tried to tell them. Sakura's just upset because she's out 500 Ryo. Sakura nodded but then put a warm smile on her face. Well, I'm glad that you two had fun. Naruto, Ino said that you two are going out again. Yeah, we are. That's nice. I'm just glad that you guys didn't kill each other. Sakura spoke. Naruto could see that he would not be getting his ramen anytime soon. Damn, what's a guy have to do to get a meal around here? He thought. Ino couldn't help but notice the look on Naruto's face. She then put her hand to his shoulder. This contact caused him to look at her. Hey Naruto, we better get going. Going? He repeated. Yeah, didn't you say something about going to Ichiraku's? Let's go, I bet you're starving. Hi. Let's go then, Ino-chan. We'll see you guys later. We'd invite you, but it's sort of just for the two of us, you know. Ino winked. She then linked arms with Naruto. Alright, see you guys. Ten waved. She waited until they were gone before talking again. They look so cute together. I'd say that we'll be seeing them together real soon. What? You don't mean that you think that they're going to start dating or something? Sakura exclaimed. Maybe they are going out again. I guess that we should just need to leave this one alone. Unless you want to have another bet, Sakura-chan. Kiba put his hand onto the pink-haired girl's shoulder. Sakura, I'm advising you against placing any more bets. You'd lose. He warned her. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think I'll be placing any more bets on anything. Ten is right, we should leave this alone. Besides, there's no way that those two would ever become a couple. Weeks later, it began like any other day. Nothing was out of the ordinary. The streets of Konoha were busy as always with people walking to and fro. The only thing that seemed to attract any attention was the two blondes sitting underneath a tree. Naruto had his arm wrapped around Ino's waist. She laughed and leaned into him. Do you see that? Sakura asked. Yep. Ten nodded. They look really happy. Hinata spoke. Ino looked up slightly when she saw her friends standing there. She quickly pulled Naruto towards her. Naruto, what do you think? Do we look happy enough or do we have to turn this up a notch? I think that we look happy enough, Ino-chan. He whispered, pushing her hair out of her face. Well, it can't hurt to heat things up a bit. Forehead is standing right there. Ino squeezed his hand, pressing her lips to his cheek. Sakura's eyes widened in surprise. I don't believe this. Tell me that those two don't look like a couple right now. Ten whispered to her. Naruto wrapped his right arm around her shoulder, bringing her closer to him. Are they watching? Naruto whispered in her ear. Yep, she nodded. The blonde male paused as he was now inhaling the blue-eyed girl's perfume. She smelled extremely good to him, like vanilla and flowers. Figures that she would smell like flowers. He thought, but she smells really good. He shook his head, trying to get rid of those thoughts. He definitely shouldn't be thinking thoughts like that about Ino. They were just partners in a crazy mixed-up plan, friends at best. Naruto-kun, you always seem to make me smile these days. Good, I'm glad, Ino-chan. I'm going to go and get ready for our date tonight. Alright, pick me up around 8, okay? She smiled for him. Wow, Ino is a good actor. Before Naruto could leave, Sakura, followed by Ten and Hinata, came over to them. Okay, you two, what gives? The pink-haired girl asked first. What do you mean, forehead? Let's not sugarcoat anything. Are you guys seeing each other or what? Ten immediately got to the point. Naruto and Ino stared at one another for a moment. Both of them smiled. Well, Naruto-kun, what do you think? Is it any of their business? I don't know, Ino-chan, but why do we have to hide it? We're having a good time, right? Ino stood up, placing her arms around Naruto's shoulders. Why are you bothered by Naruto and me, Sakura? She stopped. No, I'm not. She spoke. Naruto felt a little down by Sakura's words. He was hoping that she'd be a little jealous over all of this. Good, I'm glad, forehead, because you better get used to seeing us like this. Naruto and I will be spending more time together. She then reached for his hand, squeezing it slightly. Because after all, he is my new boyfriend. I don't believe this. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, Ino-chan. Hinata smiled. Yeah, you guys make a great couple. I figured that this would happen eventually. Ten told them. Naruto nodded, giving the three girls a warm, bright smile. Yeah, I don't know how it happened either, but we're together now. That's right. Ino grinned, running her fingers through his spiky blonde locks. Well, I have to get going, Ino-chan, will you be okay? I know that I promised to walk you home, but I really have to get going. I know, it's fine. See you around, okay? Ino then hugged her boyfriend. As he was leaving, Ino remembered that she had yet to tell him about dinner with her parents. What better time than to tell him now in front of their friends? It made their relationship seem more believable too. Oh, Naruto-kun, don't forget we're having dinner with my parents soon. Naruto stopped dead in his tracks, eyes turning white. He turned around, facing the platinum blonde. What did you say? We're having dinner with my parents. They do want to get to know you better. So what time would be good for you, huh, Naruto-kun? Dinner with the Yamanakas, dinner with Mr. Yamanaka oh fucking Kami. And all Naruto saw was stars as he fell to the ground with thoughts of his impending doom on his mind. Naruto? Naruto-kun? Naruto, wake up, are you okay? The four kunoichi stared down at the blonde male on the ground. They noticed the rise and fall of his chest. It told them that he was still breathing, and hadn't died from the shock. Tenten tapped him with her foot, hoping to get some sort of reaction out of him. Instead he remained on the ground, making no sudden movements. Damn, Ino, way to go. Look at what you did to him. Sakura said. What? Ino shrugged her shoulders. I think he took it well. So, like, what do we do with him? Tenten wondered. They couldn't just very well leave him there. Ino decided to take matters into her own hands. She sighed heavily and then lowered herself to his level. I'll handle this. Naruto-kun, Ichiraku's is going to go out of business if you don't get your ass up right now. Ino whispered in his ear. Almost immediately a pair of cerulean blue orbs opened. Ino smirked, she knew he would react to that statement. Naruto sat up, focusing his attention onto the four girls. Ino-chan, Sakura-chan, Hinata, Tenten, what happened? You just blacked out, Sakura reminded him. He sat with his hand to his chin, as he tried to remember the earlier events before this moment. His eyes widened when he finally remembered. He then turned his focus onto the platinum blonde. Ino-chan, do we have to have dinner with your parents? Ino frowned, but she understood his reluctance. It wasn't as if her father was going to make it easy for him. In fact, she was almost positive that dinner was going to be very intense, and no doubt uncomfortable for him. She almost felt bad for what might happen. My mother likes him, that should soften things up a lot. Ino thought. But Naruto, you've got to spend time with Ino Pig's parents. Especially if you two are going to be dating. Sakura still couldn't believe that those words came out of her mouth. It felt all kinds of wrong to her. Ino and Naruto together in the same sentence just didn't seem right. Forehead is right. Ino nodded. Naruto-kun, please don't disappoint me. Do it for me, okay? Her eyes shining hopefully. And to make matters worse, she had added in the puppy dog pout. Naruto stared at her. It looked like she was on the verge of tears. He wasn't sure, of course, but he definitely didn't want to see her cry. Naruto then put on a warm smile for her. Okay, Ino-chan, I don't want to disappoint you. Great, she smiled. So, what day will be good for you? I want to let my parents know ahead of time. He thought to himself, what day would be a good day to look death in the eye? Did it really matter? Any day would be a good day to have his final meal. Only why did his final meal have to be with Mr. Yamanaka? Naruto decided that as long as he avoided pissing Ino's father off, he would definitely live longer. How about Saturday? Naruto suggested. That's fine. It'll be okay, Naruto. Tenten put her hand to his shoulder. When Lee met my parents yeah, I bet you guys had an extremely youthful time. And a youthful dinner with very youthful conversations. Ino laughed. Tenten frowned, resisting the urge to slap the younger girl into the next world. Although, it was no secret that Lee could never control his excitement over things. Actually, no, Lee was a complete gentleman. He didn't mention anything at all about youth, because I asked him not to. It's all about compromise in relationships, but I'm sure that you two will figure that out. When Tenten said that Naruto and Ino exchanged looks with one another, they couldn't very well say that this relationship wasn't real. They needed to keep up appearances. She stood up, helping him up as well. Their fingers becoming intertwined for a minute until they both let go. Yeah, well, Mr. Yamanaka isn't exactly all smiles and cheerful, you know. He's more like, I'm going to kick your ass if you look at my daughter the wrong way. He's like, don't even breathe the same air as her. Naruto paused, grinning at her. I'm sorry, Ino-chan. She wasn't in the least bit offended. She understood why Naruto had said what he said. Her father was known to be a bit on the protective side. That's alright, I understand. Come on, Naruto, walk me home. Sure thing. Bye, Sakura-chan, Hinata, Tenten. Ino wished that she could reassure him that dinner was going to go smoothly. Only she knew that there wasn't much she could say to ease his mind. Whatever was going to happen on Saturday would happen regardless. Hey, I'm sorry about springing the whole dinner thing on you like that. Ino apologized. Yeah, you could have given me some warning. Well, at least now they really believe that we're together. That was the goal, right? Yeah. But Sakura-chan didn't seem to care very much. It's hard to tell with her. Like I said, she could just be hiding her jealousy. Maybe. Naruto whispered. Don't be so down, she spoke as she put her hand to his spiky blonde head. I'm sure everything will work out. Ino wanted to be optimistic about the situation. Hopefully things would turn out the way that Naruto wanted. She really didn't want this all to be for nothing. Hold my hand, okay? Everyone thinks that we're a couple now. So we definitely have to keep up appearances. Hi Ino-chan, you're right. If it weren't for that, I'd say that you really like holding my hand. He laughed. The platinum blonde froze. Why had his words affected her for that moment? Ino soon regained her composure. Huh, yeah right. You're lucky that I'm even allowing you to hold my hand. Yeah, he grinned. It figures you would say something like that. Naruto immediately let her hand go when they approached her house. The last thing he wanted was to have Inoichi see this little display. He could just imagine the look on the older man's face. All hell would definitely break loose. Naruto, it's okay, my father isn't around. Yeah, he laughed nervously. Well, for all I know he could be lurking in the shadows, just waiting for the chance to strike. Ino raised an eyebrow to him. Now you sound paranoid. Cut it out. Hey, excuse me for trying to live. My mom likes you a lot. Isn't that all the confidence you need to get through dinner? Mrs. Yamanaka was nice. He liked Ino's mother a lot. She seemed like a calm, reasonable person. He could handle dinner a lot better since she would be around. Hey, how about just you, me, and your mom have dinner? That sounds perfect to me. Naruto. We eat, we talk for a while, and then you can leave. It's not that complicated. I guess I'm a little nervous. He admitted. I've never had dinner with a girl and her parents before. Think of it as practice for when you and Sakura start going out. At least you'll know what to expect. Naruto wondered why Ino had seemed so confident about his dating Sakura. Who really knew what would happen after this whole ordeal was over? It wasn't like she had any actual proof that this would be the outcome. What if in the end he and Sakura only remained friends? Must be a girl thing. He assumed. Oh, hello there Naruto-kun. How are you? He heard. Hi Mrs. Yamanaka, I'm doing okay. Hey, do you need help with those groceries? Naruto offered. Oh, no, that's okay. I've got them, but thanks for asking. What brings you by? He was walking me home, Mom. Ino interrupted. Guess what? Naruto said that he'd come over for dinner on Saturday. A warm smile crept up onto the older blonde's face. She was glad to see that her daughter had finally asked him over for dinner. Well, it's certainly about time that she asked you to join us. I was beginning to wonder if she ever would. She gently teased her daughter. Hey, Ino laughed. I might have, sort of forgotten. That's okay, he knows now. So I'll be seeing you on Saturday, right Naruto-kun? Yeah, and don't worry much about Inoichi. He's a real softie on the inside. Yeah right, and Ba-chan isn't really an alcoholic. Naruto thought to himself. Okay Mrs. Yamanaka, I understand. Alright. Well, I better get these groceries inside. Take care, Naruto-kun. You too Mrs. Yamanaka. Once the older woman was gone, it left Naruto and Ino alone once more. The blue-eyed girl turned to look at Naruto. He was standing there scratching his hair. See, my mom really likes you, so don't worry so much. Yeah, you're right Ino-chan. He gave her a smile. It probably won't be so bad. It'll be fine. Okay, as long as you're sure. Take care until Saturday, if I don't see you before then. You too Naruto. She waved goodbye to him. Ino watched until he was completely gone from sight. Hopefully things will go well. Naruto found himself outside of Ichiraku's. He decided that now was a better time than any to H Avenue a bowl of ramen. Of course, if you were Naruto there was always a reason to have ramen. Hey Naruto. A voice called out to him. He turned around to see Sakura running up to him. Hey, Sakura-chan, what's going on? Nothing, she answered. Do you mind if I join you? He knew that this wasn't considered a date in the slightest, but a chance to be near the pink-haired girl was still something that he couldn't pass up. No, I don't mind at all. The former teammate sat down and ordered 2 bowls of pork ramen. Say, Naruto, I was actually hoping that I'd run into you. Really? What for? You're okay, aren't you? He immediately worried. Sakura smiled at his predictable behavior. He was always concerned for his friends. I'm fine, there's nothing to worry about. I promise. That's good. He smiled back. Besides, you're the one acting so weird lately. I still can't believe that you and Ino Pig are dating now. Naruto swallowed his ramen. He knew that he had to say something to her. He could not sit here without addressing her comment. Yeah, I guess things just sort of happened. I like her. It wasn't as if he had told a complete lie. He did find the platinum blonde attractive. Besides, spending all this time with her had given him the chance to get to know her a bit better. At that moment though, Naruto didn't know if he meant he liked her as a friend, or if he was starting to like her more than that. He simply wasn't sure. Sakura was silent, as she ate her ramen. Was she jealous? She wasn't sure if that was what she was feeling. It was definitely more than a possibility. If anything at all, she was curious. For as long as she had known Naruto had liked her, it was all just very strange. Sakura couldn't exactly put words to it, but something was up. Naruto, never mind. Once he finished his bowl, naturally he had ordered another. There was an awkward silence between the two. Naruto was curious as to why Sakura wasn't saying anything. Sakura-chan, you aren't talking. Didn't you want to talk? Sakura turned to him. She put her hand to his shoulder. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that I want you to be happy. But don't spend all your time with Ino Pig, okay? She smiled. I need you too, you know. Naruto gave her a warm smile. He then stood up, placing his hand onto her shoulder. Don't worry, Sakura-chan. I'm always here for you, alright? I know. She nodded. But don't let Ino hear you say that. She just might kick your ass if she found out. Sakura laughed. Yeah, maybe. No, but seriously, I just don't want to lose you completely, you know. Naruto simply nodded. Yeah, I understand, Sakura-chan. It was nice eating with you, but I'm going to go, alright? Try not to worry about a thing. I promise. Take care, Naruto. You too, Sakura-chan. So, she never exactly said that she was jealous in any way, shape or form. Naruto really didn't know what to make of the situation. Right now he could only say that he was confused. I guess that I'll just have to see how this whole thing plays out. That night the spiky-headed blonde tossed and turned in his sleep. He hadn't had such a restless night in a very long time. He soon found himself in a dream. Naruto's dream. The blonde male stood there with the pink-haired girl in his arms. He had just finished explaining the details of his plan to her. Naruto, I still can't believe that you did all of this for me. Yeah, he nodded. So, now that you know. What does this mean for us, Sakura-chan? She let him go. Sakura smiled for him. I think that we should be together. Come on, Naruto, let's go. She gripped his hand and started to lead the way. Wait, a voice was heard. Huh, Naruto froze. He knew that voice all too well. It was a voice that he had grown very accustomed to. He turned around. Oh, Ino-chan? He saw the platinum blonde standing there. She looked completely out of breath, like she had been running to catch up to them. Naruto, wait, you can't go with her. He blinked curiously, turning his full attention onto her. He could tell by the look in her eyes that she was serious. Naruto? Sakura spoke. She pulled his arm, trying to get his attention. Come on, let's go. Okay, forget about Ino Pig. Sakura tried pulling him along, but stopped when she felt that he wasn't coming with her. She turned to see what the problem was. And there she saw Ino holding on to his other arm. No, Ino shouted. Forehead, you don't get a chance with him, not anymore. Naruto, come with me, okay? I can make you way happier than she ever could. No, don't listen to her, Naruto. Come with me. The two girls began pulling him in both directions. The blonde male was starting to become dizzy from the constant pulling. He didn't know which way to go, or who to go with for that matter. Let me go, both of you. He spoke. No, I'm only protecting what's mine. They both said at the same time. Sakura-chan, Ino-chan, I can't be with both of you. Or can I? He smiled. Just then two fists went flying and punched the young man in the face. No, the hell you can't. They screamed at him. Right, I understand. He mumbled. I was just kidding. Very good, Uzumaki. Now that you realize that, I guess you better choose. Ino told him. For once I agree with Ino Pig. Choose. Naruto started. Choose now. Sakura said. Right now, Naruto. Ino spoke. With that, the blonde teen awoke from his dream. He sat up in bed, his bangs falling over in his eyes. A slight sigh escaped him. What a weird dream, he whispered. The blue-eyed teen threw on a t-shirt and his jacket. He had a good feeling that he would not be getting to sleep anytime soon. He decided to go out for a walk. All he could really think about was the events of his dream. He walked the streets of Konoha with his hands in his pockets. Man, I really can't believe that dream. He couldn't have feelings for Ino, could he? No, that was impossible. She happened to be his friend. And she definitely didn't see him as anything more than a friend, he was positive of this. Come on Naruto. Snap out of it. It was only a stupid dream. There's no reason to dwell on it. It was a cool night, the breeze felt extremely good to him. The air seemed to calm him. Once he felt relaxed enough he decided to head back home. There was no real good reason for him to stay out here. He might as well try getting back to sleep. Naruto, what are you doing out at this time? Iruka-sensei. He looked up to see his former teacher. Wait, what are you doing out here? Isn't it way past your bedtime? Naruto teased. Iruka laughed and put his hand to Naruto's head, messing up his already spiky blonde hair. Very funny Naruto. I could be saying the same thing about you. Yeah, Naruto smiled. But seriously, what are you doing out this late? I was at the academy drawing up my lesson plan for tomorrow, and I sort of lost track of time I guess. Naruto nodded in understanding. So no hot date, huh? Naruto nudged him in the shoulder. No, I'm afraid not, just school work. When Naruto grew silent, Iruka blinked in confusion. He wondered what was troubling the young man. Naruto, is there something wrong? Huh? No, of course not. Iruka smiled knowingly at his former student. Come on, let's sit and talk. He then led the way to a nearby bench. Naruto didn't speak right away. Iruka stretched his arms out, leaning back against the bench. It's a shame that it's so late, otherwise I could treat you to a bowl of ramen. Yeah, well maybe next time, huh Iruka-sensei? He spoke in a hopeful tone. We'll see Naruto. Now tell me what's on your mind. Naruto took a deep breath, gathering up all his thoughts. If there was anyone that he could talk to, it would be Iruka. He had always been there for him no matter what. Iruka-sensei, I kind of need some advice. Okay, well I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. What's going on? Alright, let's say that old man Tucci had a brand new flavor of ramen out. I'm talking, like an undiscovered type of ramen. And I was thinking of trying it. But, what if I can't bring myself to try it because I'm still stuck on pork ramen? What do I do, Iruka-sensei? He shouted in a slight panic. It was the only way he could think of to describe his situation. He had never been in this sort of predicament, so it was only natural that he would panic. Iruka only held a bewildered expression on his face. Naruto, why couldn't you just enjoy both kinds of ramen? I don't understand. It was clear that Iruka had no idea that wasn't talking about ramen at all, or rather he was talking about his feelings for Sakura, and his possible feelings for Ino. No, Iruka-sensei, that's not going to work. I can't have both. Naruto, since when have you said no to ramen? No matter what the flavor is. Oh, the brown-haired male paused. It was as if a light finally clicked on in his brain. Naruto, this doesn't have anything to do with ramen at all, does it? No, it doesn't. It's more like a girl problem. Ah, well if it makes you that uncomfortable, we'll continue talking in your terms. Why are you afraid to try the new flavor of ramen? Are you afraid that you may end up liking it more than you first thought? Iruka asked. Maybe, but I don't know if I even like the new flavor. I think that I'm still into the old flavor. I don't know what to do, Iruka-sensei. Perhaps, you should give the new flavor. He stopped again. Alright, this is too weird. Naruto, it's perfectly fine to try new things, and open your eyes to a different experience. Who knows, if you give this girl a real chance, you might be pleasantly surprised. Naruto looked at his hands for a moment, while processing what Iruka had just said to him. Yeah, even if I did give it a shot, I doubt that she would return my feelings. Give it some time, Naruto. You don't have to make a decision about either girl right now. So, you think I should just sit and see how things turn out? I'm just telling you that you don't have to rush into anything. I'm sure that the answer will come to you when you're ready. Now I'm going to head home. Good night, Naruto. Good night, Iruka-sensei. Oh, and tell Shizune-chan that I said hello. Naruto laughed. Huh? A slight blush rose to the brown-haired male's face. That is none of your business. And Shizune-san and I are just friends. Yeah, okay Iruka-sensei. I'll see you around. Bye. The blonde male waited a while before heading home himself. His only thoughts were on the conversation he had with his former teacher. Perhaps he only needed to spend more time with the platinum blonde, to find out if he really did have feelings for her. Maybe Iruka-sensei is right. I should try the new flavor. I mean, give Ino-chan a real shot. Yeah, maybe I will. He decided. Saturday came quicker than the blonde-haired male had expected. He found that he wasn't as nervous as he was before. It wasn't like he planned to make Mr. Yamanaka upset in any way. Besides, he can't kill me with Ino and her mother around. There would be too many witnesses. Naruto dressed casual, wearing black pants and a blue shirt. He placed his Chunin vest on top of the shirt. There was nothing wrong with looking presentable in front of Mr. Yamanaka. He then tied his Hite 8 on his forehead. He thought he looked decent enough. Alright, I'm ready. I better get going. In truth, he was actually hoping to be a little early. He was debating on whether or not he should tell Ino about the dream. She most likely would laugh at him and say that he was being ridiculous. Stop being an idiot. It was only a dream. He heard Ino's voice in his mind. Yeah, she'd probably say something like that. The more he thought about it, it was pointless to talk to her. For all he knew, the dream could have been just a silly little dream. Not every dream had to mean something. If this was the case, why was his mind telling him otherwise? Why did it feel like it was more than just a simple dream? Hey, Naruto-kun, I hear that congratulations are in order. A black-haired male spoke. This caused the blonde to look up at his friend. Hey there, bushy brow. What do you mean congratulations? Congratulations to you and Ino-chan on your newfound relationship. Everyone's talking about it. Oh, Naruto smiled sheepishly. Yeah, so everyone's talking, huh? Yes, Lee nodded. But Tenten-chan and I weren't surprised in the least. We are very excited for the two of you. Perhaps we can double date in the near future. Naruto could only imagine what kind of date that would turn out to be. He could imagine the look of horror on Ino's face, while Lee continued to talk about youth. Naruto chuckled to himself at the thought. I don't know. I would have to check with Ino-chan first. Right, Lee understood. I'm going to get going though. Lee, I'll talk to you soon, alright? Yes, I'm already running a little late to pick up Tenten-chan. I should be going as well, stay youthful. Will do. Naruto nodded. The friends said goodbye to one another, and both boys went their separate ways. Naruto decided he would most likely not tell her about the double date invitation. Then again, with the way she had sprung this dinner on him, why shouldn't he get a little payback? When he finally arrived at the Yamanaka's house, he was greeted by Ino herself. Hi Ino-chan. He smiled for her. Ino stood there staring at him. She moved to the side so that he could enter the house. Ino leaned up against the doorway, and waited for him to come in. Hey Ino-chan, what's going on? He noticed her hair was down again and she had a blue butterfly clip in it. She was wearing a blue skirt and a white top. You look nice, He paused. The platinum blonde was still silent. Naruto knew for sure that something had to be wrong. Since when did she not respond to a compliment? Naruto scratched his hair and then pointed to her. Okay, what's up? You are never this quiet, ever. He added. Ino frowned and was about to hit him upside the head. Unfortunately, her mother had intervened. She sighed knowing that she would not be able to hit him now. Good evening Naruto-kun, it's great to see you. Please come in. Sure. He nodded, giving Ino another look before entering the house. You'll have to forgive Ino-chan. She caught a nasty cold and lost her voice. Oh. He nodded in understanding. Sorry about that Ino-chan. Ino nodded. But, hey Mrs. Yamanaka, at least the house will be quiet for a few days, huh? He teased. The older blonde woman let out a laugh. She soon regained herself when she caught the displeased look on her daughter's face. That's not very nice, you know. Come on, have a seat. I'm going to go check on dinner. Inoichi should be here soon. Mrs. Yamanaka, is there anything I can do to help? Naruto asked. There he goes being Mr. Helpful again. Ino thought. Well, you can help Ino-chan set the table. I'll be right back. The moment her mother left, Ino walked over to him and hit him upside his head. Ow. Damn it, Ino, what the hell? The look of sheer annoyance on her face made him remember why she hit him. Oh. He grinned apologetically. I was just kidding, mostly. Whatever. Ino sighed. Follow me. She motioned for him to come with her into the kitchen to retrieve the plates. Naruto was immediately greeted by the wonderful aroma that was coming from the room. Wow, it smells awesome in here, Mrs. Yamanaka. Oh, she looked up. Thank you Naruto, everything should be done shortly. After you two set the table Ino-chan, why don't you show him around the shop? Sure mom. The blonde male helped carry the plates back to the table, so that he and Ino could set everything up. As she was placing the chopsticks down, her fingers accidentally brushed up against his. She looked up to meet his gaze. They stared at each other for a moment. Oh, sorry Ino-chan. No problem. She slowly pulled her hand back. Only she could still feel that warm feeling there. That warm feeling caused by his fingers. As soon as the table had been set up, the platinum blonde led the way to their flower shop. Naruto walked behind her with his hands behind his head. He stared at her with a curious expression on his face. The whole time he kept thinking how unfortunate it was that she had lost her voice. They could have been having some sort of conversation if she were able to communicate with him. Ino, on the other hand, didn't know why she was even showing him the shop. Would he even care about flowers? Somehow she doubted it. This would probably be a waste of time. Naruto stood in awe at all the many different types of flowers. Wow, Ino-chan, so many flowers. Yeah, you got it. Which ones are those? He pointed to a red flower. Ino wanted to be able to tell him what they were, and the meaning behind it. But, naturally at this moment she couldn't. Those are red carnations, Naruto-kun. Ino's mother spoke. Would you like to know what it means? Sure. It means, my heart aches for you, or that you have an admiration for someone. Oh, he nodded. Ino-chan, help me water these white carnations, and those chrysanthemums. Oh, and after that would you mind helping me finish arranging this bouquet? No problem. Ino shook her head. Hey, I can help water these too, Mrs. Yamanaka. I'm not an expert like you or Ino-chan. But I have some plants at home. Oh, do you like to garden, Naruto-kun? Hey, he smiled. Sometimes. Naruto admitted. Well, that's very good, Naruto. It can give you and Ino-chan something to do together. Why don't you water those gardenias over there? The older blonde passed him the water pail. Sure thing. Ino watched with interest, as the blue-eyed male handled the flowers with utmost care. It came as a surprise to her. He just didn't strike her as a person who would take an interest in gardening. He always seems to surprise me. Oh, I'd better get dinner on the table. Your father should be home by now. Ino-chan, you can handle the rest of this bouquet, right? Of course. You know that I can do this in my sleep. Ino smiled confidently. Good, thanks a lot. Mrs. Yamanaka exited the room, leaving Naruto and Ino alone once more. Okay, well that takes care of that. Naruto whispered since he had finished watering the gardenias. He went to look for something else to do, but became distracted when he saw what Ino was doing. She was standing there finishing up the bouquet that her mother started. She looked completely at home and relaxed. This was Ino's domain. She was a natural at this sort of thing. She seemed so focused, as she added another flower to the beautifully mixed bouquet. Of course Ino is good at this sort of thing. She's probably been doing this sort of thing ever since she was a kid. Naruto walked over to her, watching closely. Wow, Ino-chan, you did a really nice job. Thank you. She nodded. He looked at her. A sigh escaped him, which caused her to turn to look at him. The blue-eyed male then looked up. There was a bright glint in his eyes. It's so hard not being able to hear your voice, Ino-chan. I got so used to hearing it. He laughed. He stopped talking. Never mind, let's get back to the table. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Ino followed behind Naruto this time. He led the way back to the dining area. Once there, they were greeted by Mr. Yamanaka. He was already seated at the table. He had his hands folded underneath his chin. His gaze already focused on Naruto. Oh, hey there, Mr. Yamanaka. Ino noticed that Naruto didn't stutter or seem nervous. He had either gotten an extra dose of courage over the last few days, or he was simply pretending not to be scared. Hello, Naruto. It's good of you to finally join us. I asked Ino to invite you over a while ago. Really? He questioned while looking over to the platinum blonde. Alright. Yeah, so I let it slip my mind. Just sit. Ino grabbed a hold of his shoulders and pushed him in the seat. Now Ino-chan, you shouldn't treat a guest that way. Mrs. Yamanaka spoke. Yeah, Ino-chan, you shouldn't treat a guest that way. It's impolite. Naruto smirked. Ino simply rolled her eyes at his remark. Oh, Naruto, I made something especially for you. Ino-chan told me how much you liked ramen. The older blonde-haired woman placed a bowl of hot steamy ramen in front of him. A huge smile exploded onto his face. He was extremely grateful to Ino right now. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Yamanaka. No problem. She smiled. Ino closed her eyes, expecting to hear the young man immediately diving into the bowl of noodles. She expected to hear the loud slurping sound. To her relief, she found that he was eating like a normal person. He was probably too afraid of her father to not show decent table manners. Mrs. Yamanaka, this is really good. It's almost as good as Ichir. He tried to finish his sentence, but Ino put her hand over his mouth. He should never go insulting a woman's cooking. It was something that should not be done. Idiot. Yes, thank you, I could never get it to taste quite as good as Tucci-san. But that's no surprise, after all he is the expert. Mrs. Yamanaka sat down and dinner was finally underway. For a while there wasn't any conversation. Everyone seemed to find the food on their plates extremely interesting. Things are a bit too quiet, Naruto thought. Naruto noticed that Ino wasn't eating anything. Was it possible that she was dieting again? He hoped not. She didn't even need to diet in the first place. He started. So, Naruto. Inoichi spoke. This caused the blonde boy to turn to look at the older male. Yes, Mr. Yamanaka? I was curious to learn more about you. What are your plans? Your goals for the future? He waited for a moment before answering Inoichi. Well sir, my main goal has always been to become Hokage. I've always wanted to prove to everyone that I was worth something, you know. And, also I want to protect this village, Mr. Yamanaka. He stopped. All eyes were now on him. It's like, when you have something precious to you, you only want to protect it. Inoichi looked at the young man for a moment. He could tell by Naruto's tone of voice, and the look in his eyes, that he was very serious. Well, at least he has goals in life, that's a good thing. Inoichi thought. I understand perfectly well what you mean. It's a very good dream to have Naruto-kun. Ino's mother nodded. Thanks. I have another question, Naruto. Inoichi spoke again. Ask away, sir. Where does my daughter fit into all of this? I only want what's best for her. You wouldn't have any plans to just use her and then drop her when she doesn't hold your interest anymore, do you? I would hate for something terrible to befall you if you did. There was an intense look in those blue eyes. Naruto simply swallowed the lump of nervousness in his throat. He knew that he couldn't show his fear now. He turned his full attention onto Inoichi. Sir, I have no intentions on hurting Ino-chan in any way. I promise you that you have nothing to worry about. So, nothing terrible should happen to me, right? He laughed. Speaking of Ino-chan, why isn't she eating? He finally asked his question. I'm not sure. I even made her some soup to help with that cold of hers. But she didn't want it. Mrs. Yamanaka answered. That's no good, Ino-chan. He shook his head. You have to eat. Mrs. Yamanaka, if you don't mind, could I go and get the soup that you made for Ino? Sure, it's in the kitchen. Inoichi had to admit that he was curious as to what Naruto had planned. He was actually glad to see that he hadn't scared Naruto too much. He was glad to see how confident the young man seemed. Inoichi didn't want some punk dating his daughter, that was for sure. Either he's really good at pretending he's not scared, or that young man has grown some balls over the last few days. Inoichi thought. Ino just sat there thinking about how Naruto had just spoken to her. He actually had some concern for her. She could hear it in his voice. It actually gave her a good feeling to know that. No, Ino, don't think like that. He's not into you that way. He was just being a good friend. Naruto came back with a bowl of soup for the platinum blonde. He sat down, pulling his seat closer to her. Ino raised an eyebrow to him in question. What is he going to do? Naruto took the spoon and smiled warmly. Okay, Ino-chan, open up. You're going to eat all right. He's not planning on feeding me, is he? I'll even blow it for you if it's too hot. I don't care if I have to feed you myself, just to make sure that you eat. The blue-eyed girl blinked. She really couldn't believe him. He was showing such confidence in front of her father by offering to feed her. It was refreshing to hear him talk like this. But it was all so overwhelming at the same time. He's been so polite, like a real gentleman. My mother likes him. He actually showed an interest in something that's always been important to me. And now he wants to feed me. I can't take this. Ino rose from her seat and ran up the stairs. Naruto blinked in confusion. He wondered if maybe he had done something wrong. Don't worry about Ino-chan. She'll be alright, her mother promised. Yeah, hey Mr. Yamanaka. Mrs. Yamanaka, thank you for inviting me over for dinner. I should probably get going. Tell Ino-chan I said good night. Okay. The young man stood up from the table. He started for the door, but stopped when Inoichi called out to him. Naruto, wait a moment. Yes, sir? I wanted to tell you that I'm sorry for being so harsh with you before. I was simply concerned for Ino-chan's best interest. You can understand that, right? Oh yeah, I understand, sir. So, then you aren't going to come and kill me in my sleep. He laughed. Certainly not, Naruto. Inoichi is a real softie once you get to know him. Inoichi walked over to the young man. He put his hand onto his shoulder. Listen son, I want you to know something else. I do not blame you because of the Kyuubi. Naruto's eyes widened upon hearing Inoichi's words. In truth, a part of him had wondered what Ino's parents had thought about that. That's right dear, we do not judge you because of something that's not your fault. Mrs. Yamanaka spoke. Inoichi nodded in agreement. He still wore his serious expression, but Naruto found that there was nothing to be concerned about anymore. There is something that I believe you should do. What's that Mr. Yamanaka? I believe that if you're going to be spending time with Ino-chan, you should tell her about the Kyuubi. It's completely up to you. But, I think that she has a right to know. There was silence for a moment. Naruto knew that Inoichi had a point. He should probably tell Ino all about the Kyuubi. They were friends, and he did feel that he could trust her with that bit of information. Okay Mr. Yamanaka. He nodded. I understand. I'm going to go now, have a good evening. He shook his head. You have a good evening as well, Naruto. Meanwhile Ino sat in her room staring out of her bedroom window. She wasn't sure why she had run off like that. The only thing that she knew was that she couldn't sit there for a minute longer. Hey, she thought, he was actually going to feed me that soup. What the hell was he thinking? She looked down to see Naruto walking away from her house. She wanted to be able to shout something at him, anything at all so that he could look up at her. She sighed knowing that right now she couldn't. Soon the blonde male came to a stop. He turned around and looked up at her from downstairs. He smiled for her. Good night Ino-chan, he told her before heading back to his own apartment. A small smile rose to Ino's face as well. Good night Naruto. Weeks later. Ow, Ino-chan please not so rough. Be quiet Naruto-kun, I can touch you in any way that I want to. You're all mine now, remember. Sakura, Hinata, and Tenten paused as they heard the two loudest voices of Konoha. The village's most talked about new couple. The new inseparable duo of Naruto and Ino. You really couldn't see one without the other these days. Yeah I know, I belong to you, I got it. But you're going to hurt it, if you keep touching it like that. The pink-haired female's eyes widened to the size of saucers. Just what in hell kind of kinky stuff was going on over there by those trees? What exactly was she touching? Tenten seemed less moved, while Hinata turned a healthy shade of crimson. Naruto, quit being a baby. It can't possibly be that sensitive, can it? But Ino-chan, it really hurts. Sakura ran over to the two blondes, followed by Tenten and Hinata. She had to get to the bottom of whatever was going on. Okay, she pointed. Just what in Kami-sama is happening over here? Ino looked up slightly confused. She had her hand onto the young man's shoulder. She didn't seem to be touching anything inappropriate. Naruto's appearance was definitely less appealing. He had a slightly black eye, and his arm was wrapped up in a sling. What happened to you Naruto? Oh this. He smiled. Did Ino pig beat you up or something? Ino frowned at her pink-haired friend and rival. She then took her hand and gently started to stroke Naruto's cheek. Unlike you forehead, I'm not a boyfriend beater right, baby? Baby? Sakura thought. Hi Ino-chan? Tenten walked over to the opposite side of the blonde male. She touched his arm. I am so sorry about this Naruto. Does it still hurt a lot? What happened Tenten? Well, it's quite a story actually. Ooh I want to tell it. Ino interrupted. No let me tell it okay Tenten-chan. Naruto said. What? Ino pouted. But, Naruto-kun I want to tell the story. But Ino-chan, I'm the one that looks like this. I think that I should tell the events of last night. Let me tell it, please baby. Ino spoke in a heavily seductive tone. The blue-eyed girl went back to stroking his cheek. Sakura repressed the urge to throw up, while watching this little display. Naruto could feel his body temperature rising by the second. Why did she have to touch him like this? He closed his eyes and swallowed hard. Ino-chan, please let me tell the story. You're no fun. I wanted to tell the tale of doom, hopelessness, fear, and betrayal. Betrayal? Sakura questioned. Yep. Ino nodded. It's quite a story like Tenten said. The brown-haired Kunoichi had her hand set on her hip. She didn't care which one of those blonde loudmouths told the story, as long as someone started to tell it soon. This was getting to be frustrating. Will one of you just tell the damn story already? Before I do. Gee, Tenten angry much? Ino teased. Alright. Naruto cleared his throat, preparing to get into storytelling mode. This is a story about. You know. Ino interrupted. She started to run her fingers through his spiky blonde locks. You're not really good at telling stories. I think that I should tell it. Ino? What? Please be quiet, so I can tell Sakura-chan and Hinata what happened, and why I look like this. I already told you that I wanted to tell. I want to. No, I want to. Sakura and Hinata both sighed. They could both see that this was going to take a while. They ended up having a seat. This could take a while. Ah, this is so cute, your first fight as a couple. Tenten spoke. Upon hearing this, the two blondes stopped arguing and looked up. What? Don't worry, we fight a lot. Ino said. Yeah, this is nothing new. Naruto agreed. Although, we definitely know how to make up, don't we, baby? Yeah, definitely. Sakura ended up groaning in frustration. Not that watching the two of them argue wasn't entertaining. She just really wanted to hear this story sometime in the near future. Come on, you two, someone just say what happened already. Okay, here goes. So this is what happened. Ino stood at the counter of the flower shop. She was bored out of her mind at this moment. She opened up a magazine and started to skim through it. This was as entertaining as it was going to get. When she heard the door open, she instantly planted a smile on her face. She needed to still be joyous for the customers. Welcome to Yamanaka's flower shop. Oh, she paused. She was now face to face with the whisker-faced boy. She was actually a little surprised to see him here. They had no plans as far as she knew. Hey Naruto, what's up? Hi Ino-chan, come on, let's go, get ready. He told her. Huh? She held a confused expression on her face. What the hell was he talking about, go and get ready? Who was he to order her around? Get ready for what? Don't you see that I'm watching the shop? We're going out tonight. I already asked your parents and they said that it was okay. Ino sighed to herself. He seemed intent on taking her wherever it was. Alright, just give me a moment. No, you look fine. Come on, let's go. You aren't even going to give me a. No. He cut her off again. You look okay, I guess, let's go. Naruto suddenly grabbed her hand and led the way out of the shop. Ino was soon able to pull away from him. The least she could do was lock the shop up. At least let me lock up first. Alright, fine. Naruto stood there while she locked the door. Ino raised an eyebrow to him. She wondered why he seemed to be so on edge. Hey, what's wrong? Didn't you get your ramen fixed today? You seem a little, I don't know, crazed. Naruto let out a laugh. He ran his hand through his spiky blonde locks. Ino couldn't help but notice how cute he looked again. His hair was wild and messy, due to the fact that he wasn't wearing his Hite 8. No, I'm not crazed, Ino-chan. We just have somewhere that we need to be. Come on. Ino said nothing and followed behind her blonde counterpart. She had no idea what he had planned right now. She figured that she would just go along with it. She wanted to ask where they were going, only she decided against it. Before long she found that they were outside of a restaurant. Naruto, Ino shouted, if you wanted to take me out to dinner, all you had to do was say so. Hey, he laughed. This dinner is actually kind of special. How come? She wondered. Just come in and you will see. He opened the door for her. Ino stood looking around for a moment. She didn't see anything special about this place. It seemed like a typical restaurant to her. Naruto, what's so special? I don't get it. Naruto-kun, Ino-chan, we are over here. Lee's voice was heard from across the room. Ino's eyes widened. She didn't just hear that voice. No, that was completely impossible. She looked frozen, like time had gone still for her. Naruto? She started. Come on Ino, Naruto, before we order without you. Tenten said. Naruto. Ino repeated. Yes Ino-chan? Naruto, this isn't a double date, yeah. Naruto nodded. Oh, no. Okay, so you guys had a double date with Tenten and Lee. That still doesn't explain why Naruto looks like that. He looks like he had the living daylights knocked out of him. Sakura said. Ino now had her arm wrapped around Naruto's shoulder. She made sure not to apply too much pressure to his arm. The boy was still in pain after all. Well, forehead, if you let us finish the story, you can find out why he looks like that. Okay, please continue. Right. Ino nodded. Ino immediately wiped the look of horror off of her face. She couldn't let her friends see her like this. She took a breath, pulling herself together before walking over to Tenten and Lee. Hey you guys, Naruto and I will be right back. We need to have a quick chat. Come on. She instantly pulled Naruto away to another part of the restaurant. Ino let him go once she saw that they weren't within earshot of their friends. Naruto, what the fuck? Now Ino-chan, There's no need to have such a potty mouth. Do I need to get the soap and water? Seriously, why didn't you warn me about this? Oh, like you warned me about the dinner with your parents. Ino paused. Naruto was taking revenge for that dinner with her parents. She didn't think he would stoop this low. So this is revenge. Come on Naruto, I really can't stand to have a youthful dinner right now. Naruto chuckled. He then placed his hand onto her shoulder. Now you sound like Lee. Cut it out. Meanwhile Lee and Tenten watched the two blondes across the room. Lee blinked in confusion. He simply didn't get what the problem was. Tenten-chan, what do you think is going on over there? Huh? How should I know? You can never be sure with those two. After a few choice words, and a nasty hit over the head, Naruto and Ino took their seats across from the other couple. Naruto rubbed his head, it looked like a nasty bruise. Sorry about that guys. You know how it is when your boyfriend is an idiot. Ino apologized. Tenten put her hand to her chin, and pretended to think. Nope, I don't know what that's like. Oh, yeah, Ino started. Well at least my guy doesn't go around shouting about youth every 5 minutes. Take that back. Tenten pointed to her. Ladies, please calm down. Are you ready to order? A waitress intervened. She wanted to stop this before it got physical. After the two kunoichi calmed down, the food was finally ordered. Ino figured that she might as well enjoy some good food. Something had to be worth coming out this evening. Hey Tenten then looked over to the blonde-haired female. Yeah, I'm sorry for earlier. It's okay. It's not a big deal. From there, the two girls were talking and laughing. It was as if they had never even argued in the first place. Naruto and Lee held bewildered expressions on their faces. Hey, Naruto laughed. Girls. Yes. Lee nodded. It is very strange. Hey you brats. What's going on over here? A voice was heard. The 14 looked up to be greeted by Anko Mitarashi. The purple-haired woman stared down at them with a mischievous look in her eyes. Oh no, not you. Naruto sighed. Hey, that's no way to greet me. Hi Anko-sensei. Ino spoke up. Hey, so what's up? You four on a date or something? She wondered. Yeah, Naruto answered. Are you here with someone? Oh wait, it's very doubtful. Anko frowned at the whisker-faced boy. She immediately pulled out a kunai. Can it boy? Or I will slice you where the sun don't shine. Naruto gulped. Ino reached over, putting her hand across Naruto's mouth. She smiled up at the purple-haired woman. She had to save Naruto from getting his ass handed to him by Anko. Naruto-kun didn't mean it, Anko-sensei. Please don't slice him where the sun doesn't shine. Fine, she agreed. I'm going to have dinner now. I'll see you punks later. Just as Anko left, the waitress placed everyone's dishes on the table. Please enjoy. Naruto didn't need to be told twice. He instantly dug into his ramen. Ino had to admit that the food was very good. She decided then and there that the food was the best part of the evening. Damn, these dumplings are amazing. She looked across from her to see Lee and Tenten feeding each other. It would have been cute, but at this moment she was trying to eat. Ew, gross. Ino thought. Naruto obviously had the same thoughts, only he of course ended up saying something. The boy could never learn to keep his mouth shut. Come on you guys. That's gross. Tenten laughed. Sorry, it's a couple thing. Yeah, Ino quickly agreed. Naruto, baby, here eat. She took some of the fish off of her plate. The young woman turned his face to hers. She waited a moment before shoving the fish into his mouth. Whoa, damn that's spicy. He grabbed a drink from the table and quickly downed its contents. He felt like he was on fire or something. He then turned his attention onto Ino. Ino, are you trying to kill me? I'm sorry. Hold it. Sakura interrupted the story. It was now Ino's turn to groan in frustration. They were never going to finish the story at this rate. What is it now, forehead? All you guys had was dinner. I still don't see what happened to Naruto. Did Mr. Yamanaka really hurt you or something? Naruto just let out a laugh. Ino could only frown at Sakura's question. My daddy has never actually went through on one of his threats. Well, she paused. At least not that I know of anyway. Naruto swallowed hard. So, did this mean that there was every chance that Inoichi would still kill him? No, he shook those thoughts out of his head. Yamanaka-san is cool now. He won't kill me. At least, I hope he won't. Well, Sakura asked Naruto. She was clearly anticipating an answer. No, Mr. Yamanaka didn't do this to me. Yeah, so forehead sit back down, shut the hell up, and let Naruto finish the story. Inoheim, do you want to finish the story? No. You can finish, sweetie. Are you sure? Yep. Ino smiled, squeezing his hand within hers. Okay. Naruto smiled. Let's wrap this story up. Naruto wiped the tear out of his eye. That fish was all kinds of spicy. Ino patted his back in a gentle manner. I'm really sorry, okay Naruto. It's fine. I'm alright Ino-chan. You guys are so cute together. Tenten smiled. Lee sat there drinking his soda, or at least the thing that he believed to be soda. This soda tastes funny. Oh well, he thought. He finished his second glass and couldn't help but feel strange. Tenten noticed the dazed look in her boyfriend's eyes. Oh, no, what's wrong? Ino wondered. Lee stood up, nearly bringing the whole table down with him. What the hell, Lee? The platinum blonde questioned. Ooh, my head. He slurred. Tenten jumped up from her seat. She grabbed her food as well. There was no sense in leaving good food to danger. Ino, Naruto, don't panic. Don't panic. Ino repeated. I really don't like the sound of that. Oh shit. Naruto cursed. Lee is drunk. A waiter came over to the 14s. Is there a problem? He put his hand onto the boy in green spandex's shoulder. Lee turned around, punching the man in the face. Move it Ino-chan, or we're next. But my dinner. Take it to go. Lee is crazy strong when he's drunk. The next thing Ino, Naruto, and Tenten heard was the sound of tables being turned over. Oh, no, who gave this boy alcohol? I knew I recognized him. A waitress spoke. I knew I remembered that green spandex. Everyone stay back. Ino watched in shock and horror, as Lee continued to attack, punch, and kick things. That boy is out of his mind. She pulled Tenten down to the ground. The two of them hid underneath the table. Ino turned her friend towards her. Tenten, what the fuck? Control your crazy-ass boyfriend. I can't. She shrugged her shoulders. He'll eventually tire himself out. And how long could that take? The two girls turned around when they heard movements. They saw Naruto sitting behind them. He looked scared as well. Naruto, what the hell are you doing here? No fair, if you two are hiding, then so am I. Get your own spot, idiot. Ino told him before pushing him from underneath the table. Lee was now busy kicking a wall that he thought was a person. Aha, you cannot defeat the green beast of Konoha. Naruto stood up from the ground, coming face to face with Anko. Naruto, what the hell is his problem? He's drunk. You are going to help us with him, right? Anko let out a laugh. Sorry, kid, this is not my area of expertise. Oh, are you going to finish that? She picked up the dango off the plate and walked away. Anko-sensei? Ino shouted. You aren't seriously going to leave us with Lee alone, are you? Yep, bye. She waved. Lee's ears perked up when he heard his name. Someone else wishes to challenge me. Oh shit, Ino whispered. Lee was now running over to them at full speed. Lee-kun, no, Tenten shouted. Naruto saw that Lee was heading straight for Ino. He couldn't let that happen. Ino-chan, his mind thought. The blonde male jumped in the way of Lee's fist, taking the hit for Ino. Naruto. She went wide-eyed. All she could do was watch as Naruto took hit after hit. And, he was doing all this for her. She also noticed that Naruto wasn't even trying to hit Lee back. He was really such an amazing friend. Naruto, she thought. It was then that she got an idea. If she used her mind-control jutsu, she could stop Lee from hurting Naruto. Yes, it was definitely worth a try. Shinra, she started. Only before she could finish her jutsu, Lee kicked Naruto so hard that he went flying clear across the room. He hit a whole bunch of chairs and tables along the way. The two girls flinched when they heard a cracking sound. Ouch, Tenten whispered. Yeah, Ino agreed. I'm going to go get Guy-sensei. You make sure that Naruto is okay. Right, Ino nodded before running over to her boyfriend. She bent down to his level. Naruto, are you okay? The young man had a dazed look in his eyes. Wow, he mumbled. So beautiful. And with that he closed his eyes, passing out. All the while Ino could not control the blush on her face. Beautiful, huh? She thought. Well, there you have it. That's the story. Lee totally lost his mind, and beat the hell out of my poor, innocent Naru-kun. Ino said with sadness. She hugged him. Ino-chan, please the arm. Oh yeah, she smiled. Sorry. So, how was this a story about doom, hopelessness, fear, and betrayal? Ino looked at Sakura as if she had asked the dumbest question in the entire universe. Forehead, weren't you listening? The story had all those elements. Doom, because we were all doomed the moment Lee had a drink. Fear, because he was scary as all hell. Hopelessness because, well, the situation looked hopeless from the beginning. And lastly, betrayal because Enko-sensei totally betrayed us by leaving. Ino explained. Yeah, Tenten nodded. When I see that purple-haired dango stealing. She paused. It's okay Tenten-chan, calm down. What can you really expect from that crazy woman? Naruto told her. That's true. Everyone agreed. Naruto let a sigh escape him. He closed his eyes for a moment. Ino continued to massage his shoulder for him. He knew that she was doing this simply for show, but it would be a lie if he said that it didn't feel nice. Hello. Lee hiccuped. How are all of you on this extremely youthful day? Instantly blue eyes popped open. He stared at Lee with a panicked expression. Lee had just hiccuped. Was he drunk again? In an instant Naruto was on his feet. Oh hell no. Come on Ino-chan, let's get the hell out of here. He's drunk again. Huh? Lee seemed confused. It's okay Lee-kun. Don't worry about it. Tenten smiled for him. Fuck no Tenten. I am not getting hurt again. Ino. He turned to his girlfriend. It's okay Naruto. Lee just has the hiccups. He isn't drunk. Oh good. Naruto sighed in relief. Lee only seemed more confused than ever. But he shrugged his confusion off. Suddenly, as if a light off in his head, he turned towards his girlfriend. Oh yeah, Tenten-chan, I've come to say goodbye. Goodbye. Tenten questioned in shock. Ooh, things are about to get real juicy Naruto-kun? Ino whispered in his ear. Naruto nodded. Sakura and Hinata sat there paying attention too. Were they all about to witness the official Lee and Tenten break up? Was that the thing that would be happening today? Ino couldn't wait for the fireworks. Yes, goodbye. Lee repeated. What the hell do you mean by goodbye? I gave you the best year and a half of my life. Do you realize who I could have chosen instead of you? Hey Ten, calm down. No, she shook her head. I will not calm down. I have the right to be angry. Listen here Rock Lee. She pointed to him. You picked the wrong kunoichi to break up with. Oh, no Ten's going to lose it. Ino spoke. Lee opened his mouth to say something. Only he couldn't because of Tenten's rant. The young woman kept going on and on. There seemed to be no end in sight. And furthermore Mr. Youthful. Lee silenced her by putting his finger to her lips. Tenten-chan, you are not behaving very youthful today. I am not breaking up with you. I was just saying goodbye, because I'm leaving for a mission. Oh, Tenten calmed down drastically. Well, if that's the case I'm going to miss you Lee-kun. She reached up and hugged her boyfriend. Ino was slightly disappointed. She had expected some big fireworks. Unfortunately, nothing had really happened, except for a big misunderstanding. After a long tearful goodbye, a kiss, and a youthful moment Lee was on his way. Well, now that little ordeal is over. There had to be something good about the evening? Sakura wondered. Tenten, Naruto, and Ino thought about it for a moment. They looked at each other and nodded. It was like they were all thinking the same exact thing. The food. They all agreed. Oh, yeah the food was amazing. Ino smiled. Yeah, I'm telling you that food was to die for. Yeah. But we'll never get to have it again. We were banned from the restaurant, remember? So we can't ever go back. Naruto reminded them. Oh, that's right. They sighed in disappointment. It was all thanks to Lee, they would never be able to go back to that restaurant again. They probably wouldn't even be able to walk past the place without receiving looks. Damn you Lee, they all thought. Well, I'm going to help Naruto get home. You know, with his bad arm and everything. We'll see you guys later. Oh, and Tenten stay youthful. Ino teased the brunette. Very funny Ino datbeo. Hey, Naruto exclaimed. That's not funny. Yeah it kind of was. Sakura laughed. Bye you guys. Bye. The couple waved. For a while they walked in silence side by side. Ino had to admit that they were convincing in front of their friends just now. She was more sure than ever that they could pull this off. Hey, she started. Hi, Ino-chan? Your arm. She started. Does it hurt a lot still? In truth he wasn't even really in that much pain. Kyuubi of course had something to do with that. Only, he wasn't quite sure if he was ready to tell her about it. Yeah it's killing me. He lied. Yeah, she nodded. Lee gave you quite the thrashing huh? Yeah, he grinned. Lee was always strong you know, but when he's drunk he's like a million times worse. Ino probably would have never believed it, if she hadn't seen it with her own eyes. I never got to thank you. For what? He wondered. For getting in the way, and taking all those hits for me. You really didn't have to. What kind of guy would I be if I let you get hurt? Ino went to say something else, but stopped herself. She also wanted to talk about when he called her beautiful. The moment right before he passed out. She was probably a little nervous about bringing it up. What if he hadn't meant it? What if he had forgotten all about it? He was most likely confused or something. Oh, hey, it's you guys. Anko's voice was heard. Anko-sensei? Damn kid, you look a little banged up. I'm guessing you didn't survive last night. No thanks to you. Naruto reminded her. Hey, she shrugged her shoulders. I told you that wasn't really my thing. Oh, but stealing other people's food is? You owe us some money. Anko let out a guilty laugh. There was no way in hell she was going to be paying them out of her pockets. No way, you brats. I'm not paying you anything. Oh yeah, well, wait until Ibiki-sensei finds out. Or better yet, I'll tell Tsunade-sama. She won't be too thrilled when she learns that you left 4 defenseless teens alone. In a highly dangerous situation at that. Ino told her. Hardly. She laughed. You two are not defenseless. But I'd rather not have Tsunade-sama on my ass about this nonsense. I'm sure you would spin this story to your advantage. So, here. She went into her pocket and took out some Ryo. Anko muttered something about stupid, blonde children before walking away. Ino laughed. That was really cool, Ino-chan. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that she went for it. She probably was bored of us, and couldn't wait to get out of here, or something. Yeah, probably. Naruto agreed. Oh shit, I have to be at the shop again today. I'm sorry, Naruto, I wanted to make sure that you got home okay. You know, with your bad arm. Naruto really appreciated the platinum blonde's concern. I'll be fine, trust me. He tried to reassure her. Ino slowly nodded, although she had to admit that she was rather worried about her whisker-faced friend. Are you sure? Yeah, alright, but be careful, okay? Your arm should be better soon though. Thanks, I will, Ino-chan. Take care, okay? I will. She smiled for him. If you need anything, I know. He nodded. Okay, bye. She waved to him. Naruto stared after her until she was gone from sight. A sigh escaped the young man. I want to tell you about Kyuubi, Ino-chan. It's just that I'm not ready yet. With that, the young man turned around and headed to his own apartment, with thoughts of Ino and the Kyuubi on his mind.
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.